jacket?
Sure.
Okay. Safe drivers save 40%. Guys, check it out. Safe drivers save 40%. Safe drivers save 40%. Safe drivers save 40%. That's safe drivers save 40%.
It is. That's safe drivers save 40%.
It's right there.
It's him. He's here.
He's right here. Hi.
Hi.
Hey. That's totally him.
It's him.
That's totally the guy.
Safe drivers do save 40%. Click or call for a quote today.
I'm Hector. I am the Delivery Operations Manager in San Diego, California. We were one of the first stations to pilot a fleet of electric vehicles. We're striving to deliver a package with zero emissions into the air. I feel really proud of the impact that has on the environment. We have 2 daughters, and I want to do everything I can to protect the environment, so hopefully they can have a great future.
FanDuel's simple, intuitive app makes it easy to get closer to the game. But to get Dan even closer, we've arranged for him to experience a genuine James Harrison tackle.
Wait, what? Tackle? Can we not do the tackle?
If he doesn't tackle you, he doesn't get paid.
It doesn't get paid.
FanDuel. Join today and play free all season long.
At NFL Network, we're here for Thursday and the Sunshine State Showdown.
Let's go!
We're here for Fitz Magic and Minshew Mania, with receivers rising and big studs circling. For a new day in the 305. High hopes and blue ball. We're here for Thursday. Dolphins, Jaguars, Thursday Night Football, Thursday at 8, only on NFL Network.
NFL Today on CBS Sports is presented by Ram Trucks, built to serve.
And welcome back to the NFL Today. And now Amazon takes you out to the sights and sounds of the game between the Broncos and the Steelers. Let's join our announcers, Greg Gumbel, Rich Gannon, and Jay Field.
Thank you, JB. This is Heinz Field, right down there in the corner on the right. Here in Pittsburgh, as the Steelers get set for their home opener this new season, they'll host the Denver Broncos. Opposite ends of the spectrum at quarterback today, the future Hall of Famer, Ben Roethlisberger, in his 17th season here in Pittsburgh. Second-year quarterback Drew Lock leads the Denver Broncos. His second start of the season, only the 7th of his young career. With that, we say hello and welcome to Pittsburgh, everyone. Along with Rich Gannon, I'm Greg Gumbel. Jay Feely will join us shortly. A week ago, we were talking about this new season and how it would go in the absence of the normal training camps and the preseason games. What do you think?
Greg, I was actually pleasantly surprised with the overall quality of play. I was really expecting some sloppy football, a lot of missed tackles, turnovers, big plays in the kicking game, and yet, for the most part, I thought the coaches and players did a really good job without the benefit of a true off-season.
Let's start with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Fans in these parts breathing a little easier after Ben Roethlisberger's debut for the season last week. He was pretty good.
He really was. And look, here's a guy that missed all but 6 quarters a season ago after sustaining the elbow injury that required surgery, and the Steelers' offense really felt the impact of his absence. Pittsburgh scored just 13 offensive touchdowns in the final 10 games. Every relieved to see him back under center. I thought this play in particular was a real turning point for Ben Roethlisberger and the Steeler offense. Second quarter, it's a 3rd down. It's an all-out blitz by this Giants defense. No panic in Ben at all. He finds Juju Smith-Schuster in the back corner of the end zone. And really, after kind of a slow start, he finished strong through 3 touchdowns. I think this was a big moment, not just for Big Ben, but for this Pittsburgh offense to know that their signal caller was back.
Well, last week, the Steelers' run game lost starter James Conner to an ankle sprain early on. He is active and ready to play today. Second-year running back Benny Snell stepped up in a big way last week, 19 carries and 113 yards. But the real star of the Pittsburgh win last week, Rich, a really good Steeler defense.
Yeah, one of the better defenses in football. Last year, they led the league in sacks, takeaways, and fumble recoveries. You're going to see Bud Dupree, just a great effort play here. He gets a deflection. It falls right into the hands of Cameron Hayward. And last week, they shut down Saquon Barkley, holding him to just 6 yards on 15 carries. You combine that with a couple picks and 3 sacks, and you have yourself a pretty productive day week 1.
Now, the Denver Broncos, they lost a tough 2-pointer in their opener to the Tennessee Titans. 16-14 was the final score. Their quarterback, Drew Lock, is a very young quarterback, but there's no question he's their quarterback in the future.
Yeah, I think he has a huge upside. You know, I think the way he finished the season last year, he goes 4-1 down the stretch. I thought he really won over his teammates and the coaching staff with some gutsy performances, especially on the road. He's got outstanding arm talent to make all the throws. He sees the field well, and he's extremely poised operating under center.
The question for the Broncos this week, would the terrific wide receiver Cortland Sutton be ready after missing the opener with a shoulder injury that he suffered in practice? The answer is yes. That is a big weapon for the Broncos and for Drew Lock to have at their availability today. What about the Denver defense?
It's a well-coached, disciplined defense that doesn't make many mistakes. They make you earn it. They're stingy down in the red zone. Where they struggle is generating the negative plays and takeaways. Those numbers need to be better.
All right, Rich, time for Duke Project Smarter, presented by The Home Depot.
Well, without Philip Lindsay in the lineup today, Melvin Gordon needs to have a big day, and not just on the ground, but in the passing game as well. He needs at least 20 carries in this one. And for Pittsburgh, it's all about the pass rush. TJ Watt, 1-2-3, can't bring it off the edge. Last year they combined for 26 sacks, the most in the NFL. For Pittsburgh, they'd be smart to protect their franchise quarterback. Two new starters along the right side of that offensive line has head coach Mike Tomlin concerned. And for Denver, they have to have success running the ball, because if it becomes a throwing game, they will struggle.
Steelers looking for 2 in a row to start the new season. Broncos searching for win number 1. Kickoff not far away as we continue from Pittsburgh after this message and a word from your local station.
I've already hoarded all the toilet paper. I've learned how to make sourdough. All that's left is exercise, and you can't make me. There's got a new late show Monday on CBS. The CBS Evening News with Nora O'Donnell on CBS.
If you elect me, your taxes are going to be raised, not cut.
What does that mean for you? More taxes taken out of your paycheck. Higher gas prices at the pump and utility bills at home. Skyrocketing medical bills. You compete with illegal immigrants to keep your job. An economy in ruins. President Trump is bringing jobs back. Historic gains. 10.6 million new jobs in 4 months. President Trump fixed our economy before. He's doing it again.
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message.
Your Weather Authority forecast weekends on WTAJ.
More means more at Courtesy Kia. More selection of Kia cars, Kia minivans, and Kia crossovers. More savings and more value for your money at Courtesy Kia. For even more access, browse online 24/7 at courtesyaltoona.net.
Good morning. Oh, hey. You ready to go?
Just about.
What is all this?
Just trying to get organized. Don't you want to help me sort?
No, not really.
Well, at least I don't have to sort through medications.
You got that right.
Truth is, we already know UPMC for
NFL Week 2 on this beautiful Sunday, September afternoon. Thank you for tuning in and watching my NFL Denver Bronco, Pittsburgh Steeler live reactions, play-by-play, live right here on YouTube. I'm your host, Encyclopedia Sports, Cool Hand Luke 96. As always, be sure to like, follow, and subscribe on social media. Links in the description below. The thumbs up button, share on social media, hashtag NFL, hashtag DEN for Denver versus PIT for Pittsburgh, as the Steelers host the Denver Broncos in their Week 2 home opener, coming off a Monday night victory on the road just last week, Week 1, on Monday Night Football against the New York Football Giants by a final score of 26-16. After a slow start, the offense finally found some rhythm. They were able to run the ball with Benny Snell, who, along with James Conner, even with a sprained ankle, this afternoon they will split carries. Rookie running back Tony McFarland out of Maryland will also be active for his first NFL career game this afternoon as well. The Denver Broncos, on the other side of things, they are coming off a Week 1 loss, also on Monday night, in the nightcap at home against the visiting Tennessee Titans, a game that they should have won. Clock management in the final minutes of the game was key. They did not call any timeouts. They did not give Drew Lock and the Denver offense enough time to be able to drive and score, losing by a 2-point margin, 16-14. So both teams going to have to run the ball this afternoon. Philip Lindsay, Denver's one running back, out 2 to 4 weeks now with an injury, so Melvin Gordon will get the boatload of carries this afternoon for the visiting Broncos with second-year quarterback Drew Lock out of Mizzou. Also play good defense. What defense? Once again, gonna bend but don't break, doesn't break when the time rolls around, when that is key. And it's going to be key all game long, of course, all 60 minutes. That's why they play the game. It's not decided on paper, it's decided on the field. We're in Pittsburgh, Heinz Field. Pirates also with their last home game of the regular season this afternoon as well, a few blocks down the street. But Pittsburgh home opener against the Denver Broncos. Thanks once again for tuning in and watching. Now, with Pittsburgh coming off that big Monday night win on the road against the Giants, and then Denver losing on Monday night against the Titans, the rivalry with the Denver Broncos and Pittsburgh Steelers hasn't gone the Steelers' way as of late. Denver's won 7 of the last 10 dating back to 2003, including 4 of the last 5, as this meeting this afternoon is the first since November in 2018, out Mile High with a Denver Bronco victory that Steeler fans should remember quite well, as over the past few seasons or so, the Steelers have been in the games late, but they haven't been able to find a way to finish. Hopefully that'll change this year in 2020, because hell, it's 2020, so something's got to go right every once in a while. But hey, it's still 2020, so it is what it is. Nice aerial shot of Heinz Field in downtown Pittsburgh, right on the banks of Three Rivers. There's Jay Feely on the field for CBS. Greg Gumbel, former Raider quarterback, and Rich Gannon on the call this afternoon. Vic Fangio in his second year as Bronco head coach. First visit to the Steel City for him as a head coach in the National Football League. Should be an interesting game. Play Pittsburgh Steelers football, run the ball, open up play action. Ben looked well last week with almost 300 yards passing and 3 passing touchdowns after a slow start. Key position to look at today, downgrade from last week for the Steelers would in fact be the offensive line with some injuries, but we're underway. No fans in attendance, and Denver going to return it out to the 20-yard line, left to right across your television screen as Boswell kicks off. Rookie wide receiver number 11 Chase Claypool on the stop on special teams. So now 1st and 10 for the Denver Broncos at the 20-yard line. It'll be Drew Lock, Melvin Gordon, the former Wisconsin Badger and LA Charger, Cortland Sutton active this afternoon as well for the first time this season. Sat out last week. Denver, along with Pittsburgh, they have a trio at wide receiver, along with the tight end position. Drew Lock going deep down the far sideline, very first play of the ball game. It's going to be caught by Cortland Sutton, and they say completion. That's a catch down the far sideline. 1st and 10, Denver, right around the midfield, looks like 46-yard line. Also some play-by-play of the LA Ram Philadelphia Eagle game that is currently beginning on Fox as well. We'll get more into all the other games in the NFL this week coming up shortly. 1st and 10 officially at the 40. Lock over the middle, going to be incomplete. 10 for the rookie out of Alabama, Jerry Jeudy, who had a decent week 1 Monday night game last week against the Tennessee Titans. Has very, very quick feet, and I don't think that should be an issue for the Pittsburgh secondary this afternoon, as they've gotten a little bit better over the past few years or so. But going to be interesting to see how Mike Hilton on the stop, Melvin Gordon on the carry, little helmet to helmet, no flag, 3rd down to come. But going to be interesting to see how Pittsburgh's offensive line does once they're out there on offense, blocking for Ben and company. with DeCastro and Wisniewski out at guard. Zach Banner done for the year at right tackle with torn ACL. So we'll see. Third down and about 3. Noah Fant, Iowa. Grad in motion near side. Locke looking his way over the middle. It's going to be incomplete. And now a flag comes in. They're going to get Pittsburgh on a pass interference. That'll be 15 yards, automatic first down. Intended for number 81, Tim Patrick. And that's a good call on Joe Hayden. Yeah. So a spot foul, automatic first down. First penalty of the ball game goes to the Pittsburgh Steelers via pass interference. So tie ball game, 0-piece. Denver on their opening drive, 13:43 and counting to play in the first quarter. If you're just now tuning in, thank you once again. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe. Hit the thumbs up button. First and 10 from midfield. And Locke going to be under center. Jerry Jeudy back in it. Wide out near side. Going to hand off Melvin Gordon. And he's going to lose about 1.5 yards. Second down and long. Also, some 1 o'clock games in the National Football League today. Atlanta on the road and Dallas take on the Cowboys, Jags, Titans in the AFC South, along with the Vikings and Colts from Indy. Rams, Eagles, as mentioned, now underway on Fox as well. Broncos, Steelers here, and then Panthers, Bucks. And then we'll get more into all the other games coming up a little bit later on at halftime with some stats and scores from around the league. 2nd and 12 from the 49. Locke going to step up, getting pressured, and eludes the sack a few times and airs it out incomplete. And it'll now be 3rd down and 12. Niners on top of the Jets early on, 7-0 as well. Raheem Mostert playing well here early in the season, 80-yard rushing touchdown for him. So the Jets, along with the Jags, turning into the Cleveland Browns. Rams on the road in Philly after defeating the Dallas Cowboys last Sunday night. Goff and the LA Ram offense. Their opening drive, 2nd down and 6 from the 37-yard line. 3rd and 12, we got a whistle, and we're going to have a Denver timeout. Denver Broncos timeout, 12:54 to play here in the first quarter, 3rd down and 12 to come. 3rd and short to come for the Rams after a few-yard run up the middle. No fans in attendance in Philly either due to Governor Wolf's restrictions. They do have cardboard cutouts and some other personnel from these respective teams in the stands, though, it looks like. As we saw last week in New Orleans, Tampa's practice squad was in attendance in some seats right behind the bench. 3rd and 3, we're going to have a timeout by the Rams as well. So some teams burning timeouts early on here in the first quarter. Titans 7-0 at home against the Gardner Minshew Mania-led Jacksonville Jaguars. Cowboys have the ball, tied at home with the Falcons. Locke being pressured again. It's going to be incomplete over the middle, intended for Cortland Sutton and Steven Nelson on the coverage. So Pittsburgh, after giving up a first down and then a 15-yard spot foul pass interference, they hold the Denver Broncos to a punt, and now Deontay Johnson back deep to receive. Hopefully no muffed punt here this afternoon, just like we saw early after the first Giant drive last Monday night. And he's going to field at the 5-yard line, and he runs into a teammate, makes a man miss, breaks a tackle. Good return out past the 20 to around the 23-yard line. So 1st and 10 from there for Big Ben Roethlisberger in the black and gold when we return with 12:38 to play in the opening quarter. Tied at 0. Pittsburgh hosting the 0-1 Denver Broncos. Jared Goff and the Rams, and Philly, as mentioned once again, complete over the middle. Cooper Kupp, who's now wearing number 10. And the Rams have a 1st and goal at the 9-yard line. Goff going to hand off. About a 5-yard run to the 3.5, 4-yard line, it looks like. Update. And the very first play of the ball game, Raheem Mostert, 80 yards. 7-0. 49ers on the road in the Meadowlands taking on the Jets. So San Fran with a 4-point loss week 1 against the visiting Cardinals with Kyler Murray, Hopkins, and Fitz. And Cam Akers, now the rookie back out of Florida State. Their head coach, Mike Norvell, COVID-19 positive. He'll coach remotely next Saturday night as the Seminoles will take on the U, who picked up a big win on the road last night against the Louisville Cardinals. So Cam Akers with an injury after that previous carry. 2nd and goal, Goff play action, caught, touchdown Rams. And that is Tyler Higbee for 6. Rams 6-0 on the road, leading the Eagles early on after what looks to be a Miles Sanders fumble, as they keep panning to him as the Rams score and lead early on, just as they did last Sunday night at home against the Cowboys as well. So 2 NFC East opponents here early in September for the Rams out of the NFC West, as they open up their new stadium last week, SoFi, and now the Chargers will get to do the same this afternoon as well, hosting the defending Super Bowl IV champion Kansas City Chiefs. Miles Sanders with a fumble in his first game of the year, out last week with an injury, and the Rams take advantage. They capitalize and put up 7. So now we're back in Pittsburgh. 1st and 10, Steelers. Ball 23, and we got a fumble on the very first play of the ball game for the Steeler offense, and Deontay Johnson once again messing up. They faked it to Connor, end around to Johnson, and you got to be able to hold on to the football, buddy. You have to hold on to the ball. That's 2 very early mistakes 2 weeks in a row now for Deontay Johnson. Does he have grease on his gloves or something? James Conner on the run once again up the gut. Okay, they get back to the original line of scrimmage following the fumble, so now going to be 3rd and 10. And some issues with the O-line, as mentioned, with some injury. So we'll see how they run the ball and open up the play action. But if you're fumbling the football and giving up penalties early on and going to have that continue, then you're not going to have the chance to be able to block up front and run the ball and throw. You're just going to be shooting yourselves in the foot from the get-go, and another slow start by Pittsburgh. Roethlisberger near side, it's caught. Juju Smith-Schuster for about 8, and he's going to be shy. It's going to be 4th down and about a long 2. So Pittsburgh going to punt. Obviously not the start the Steelers would have liked this afternoon, but nonetheless, like I said, you can't expect to, actually do something if you're out there literally shooting yourselves in the foot, as Tampa did how many times last week. We'll have to keep an eye on that game today with Brett Favre in attendance. Bucs host the Panthers in Brady's first home game with a new team for the first time in 20 years. And Dustin Colquitt on to punt. Denver going to field it around the 28. A 5-yard return, 1st and 10 from there for Denver. But you can't expect to actually do something if you're fumbling the football and giving up penalties, early on. So we'll see how this goes. Another slow start, but if he's going to continue to, Johnson played well in the second half last week, but early on, if he's only going to be a second half player, don't play him to the second half. Put somebody else in. If he's going to cough up the football left and right, because this is now 2 weeks in a row. Second game in 6 days. They played last Monday night. Just try to do something else. But as long as the defense plays well, keeps them in the game as they did last week, and then the offense, found rhythm late, it'll be all right. They'll be fine. Miles Sanders on the carry up the gut, and no fumble on that. So a few fumbles early on in these games, a few early timeouts by the road teams as well on their opening drives. So let's see what happens. Like I said, that's why they play the games. Everybody's overreacting once again. It's still early on in the season. Last I checked, still 17-week, 16-game regular season with now a 14-team playoff, 7 in each league. So now another penalty. We're going to have a false start, looks like, on the Philly offense. Said last week if both Carson Wentz and Baker Mayfield with the Browns over the Bengals on Thursday Night Football, defeating the Tiger King Joe Burrow by 5. Actually offside by the Ram defense, so replay second down. That if those teams don't play well, along with the quarterback play in general, they might be looking for new homes this time next year. Especially Wentz, even though he did just get an extension recently. So he's not bad, but talk about turnovers, and taking sacks, he almost takes one there. Completes it over the middle to Zach Ertz, who's also in a contract year. We'll have to see what happens with him, but empty set 5 wide for the Eagles, and Wentz finds Ertz over the middle for a first down. Nice aerial shot once again of Heinz Field. Pittsburgh, of course, weird seeing no fans in attendance, but it is what it is. 1st and 10 from 33. Bronco football, handoff. Melvin Gordon lowers his shoulder, gets to the 40-yard line. 2nd and 3 to come. Screen pass, far sideline, first down. Eagles once again as well. But just play good defense, and then until the offense finds rhythm, just like it did last year. This is how it's going to be. There's not much else to be said. Jerry Jeudy in motion. Handoff Gordon once again up the middle. You got to be able to stop the run, though, too. Cam Hayward along with Devin Bush and Vinny Williams on the stop. Denver has a good wide receiving group, as mentioned, with Cortland Sutton and Jerry Jeudy leading the way. They did have Emmanuel Sanders, but they traded him to San Fran, and now he's in New Orleans. Another former Steeler. And they also have a few other young wideouts in Tim Patrick and Deshaun Hamilton and KJ Hamler out of Penn State. Another first down run by Melvin Gordon, who is playing for Philip Lindsay this afternoon, as they have a 2-headed backfield, but Lindsay out now 2 to 4 weeks with an injury, so Gordon going to get the carries this afternoon. And Isaiah Swerve Scott out of the WWE on the run for the Philadelphia Eagles. I believe he picks up a first down as well. Locke looking to throw, far side, and just a little too high for his intended target, number 81, Tim Patrick. So incomplete, 2nd down and 10. Slow start by both these teams early on, but at least Denver's able to move the football right now. They're running the ball better than what they did last Monday night in the nightcap against the Titans. And then they just, as mentioned earlier, the clock management and Tennessee still finding a way to stay in it after a few missed field goals from Gostkowski and then hitting the game winner. TJ Watt on the stop after a few yard run by Royce Freeman out of Oregon. 3rd down and 7 after pick up a 3. Wentz going for Dallas Goedert. Nice one-handed grab, but then knocked loose, falls incomplete with some good coverage by the Rams secondary. There's Ironhead, Cameron Hayward, who just recently signed an extension for 4 more years. 3rd and 7 from 25. That's a hold. TJ Watt almost on the sack. Ball comes out. Bud Dupree on the hit, and Drew Lock's down. Drew Lock is down and injured. It looks like Steelers are going to recover the fumble. Okay, he's going to get up. He might have just got the wind knocked out of him. He did take a hard hit. So Watt was being held. Almost brought him down on the sack. Was he down before the ball came out? That's close. We'll take a look at that. They're going to head to the commercial break. Hilton on the recovery.
All your favorite flavors are on DoorDash.
But Bud Dupree kept with it. Went after Locke as he was stumbling around. Ball came out. Steelers recovered. So turnovers playing key so far. Hopefully Pittsburgh can get the run game going as good as what Denver just had on that recent drive that was going to end in a field goal, more than likely by Brandon McManus if they didn't fumble on that last play there, because it was 3rd down. Rolls out, throw away, it's incomplete. They're going to have a 4th down from the 25 and, about a 42, 43-yard field goal. So, looked like a fumble. It didn't look like, because he was stumbling and the ball was coming out just as he was going down. So that last shot I saw, it didn't look like he was down by any means, but I'm sure, they'll be talking about it, or they would have looked at it during this commercial break now, just to make sure, of course. But Pittsburgh's going to have the ball. Hopefully they can capitalize just as LA did with an early Philly fumble and drive and score. Get the run game going. Like I said, hopefully they can block up front. Deontay Johnson not playing well early, but if he can finish strong as he did last week, it'll be all right. I'll be fine with that. But block up front, play Steeler football. Just all the time. Run the football, open play action. Ben looked like Ben last week. As mentioned, late, he didn't look, great. He didn't look like the Ben Roethlisberger that was winning Super Bowls by any means. But he looked, obviously, 10 times better than what any Steeler quarterback played last year after his Week 2 injury in the home opener that we're here 1 year later again today with the Steelers opening on the road the past 2 years, Week 2 a home opener. That's when he got hurt against the Seahawks. Knock on wood, don't want to jinx, but just saying. So we'll see what happens, but just run the ball. Connor didn't look bad on his first run there, and then they fumbled, but he got banged up a little bit, as Drew Lock just did as well. Now he's walking into the locker room. Drew Lock, actually he's going in the 10 on the sideline. Ben looking to throw, complete. Eric Ebron, they finally go to the tight end, thank you. Go to Ebron and Vance Ronald McDonald. First down pickup for the Steeler offense. See a replay of that pressure from Pittsburgh and then the fumble. Watt almost brought him down, and then Bud Dupree was right on his tail. That ball was out. That's a fumble. And then Pittsburgh recovered. So now 1st and 10 after the completion to Ebron, who came over from Indy. Juju in motion. Fake the give. Ben looking to throw. Complete to Juju and he's going to be about 2 yards shy. Once again of a first down. So he's only getting about 8 yards per catch so far here in the first quarter. But a completion out in the flat far sideline. Just quick, short passes. Ben, yeah, of course, over the past few years, obviously he's been getting the ball out a lot quicker. Did that last week as well against the Giant defense that led to 3 touchdowns. 2nd and 2. Vikings on the road in Indy lead 3-0 nearing the end of the first quarter. Out of the gun, fake the give to Connor. Quick out route, far sideline, that's complete. James Washington. His Oklahoma State Cowboys hung on yesterday at home against Tulsa. 7-3 Rams with the ball on the road against the Eagles. But then just open up the play action. I mean, Ben, on this drive so far, they are sort of capitalizing on throwing the ball better here early in the first quarter compared to last week. Tennessee now 14-0 on top of the Jags, with Minshew having an interception. Trips near sideline from the 31, 1st and 10. It's going to be incomplete, a little too high for Deontay Johnson. And he says that's on him. Well, hopefully here before too long, you quit making mistakes. And geez. Buffalo 7-0 on the road against the Dolphins. I thought that was more on Ben than Johnson. He put it up there for him, but you would still think he'd come down with it, but obviously not. 2nd and 10. Ben going to hand off. And Connor low on his shoulder. All right, that's what we like to see from James Conner. 11-yard pickup for him. 1st down Steelers once again. He's not that great of a running back, but compared to last week here early on, he's looking 10 times better than what he did. Because he only had a few carries for a few yards before Benny Snell came in and picked up over 100 yards rushing in his absence. They said he was injured, ankle sprain. I didn't think that was the case. I thought they just benched him because he was sucking and Snell was playing better. He used a hot hand, but so far we have yet to see Snell. Connor's playing well. Complete over the middle, or incomplete, excuse me. 10 for Eric Ebron. Good coverage by Denver. 2nd and 10 to come. 5 minutes to play here in the opening quarter. Both stats and scores coming up at halftime, so stay tuned. Keep those chat questions and comments rolling through. I'll get to those in a second. Steelers break the huddle. So weird seeing no fans in Heinz Field. I mean, this is a Steeler game, not a Pitt game by any means. So, just when the Steelers are known to have sellouts all the time, I get restrictions and stuff, but still just so weird. Almost picked off in the end zone. And ball going to fall incomplete, 3rd down and 10. And it was intended for Deontay Johnson once again. He was behind the corner, hit the corner right in the hands, and incomplete. If Johnson's not going to be playing well, just get him out. Plain and simple. Just get him the hell out. Bears 10-0 against the Giants. Bucks 7-0. Now 14-0. On top of the Panthers. Brady playing well. Complete, near side. And Juju going to pick up a 1st down inside the 5. 1st and goal now at the 2 for the Steelers. So around the league, some slow starts, but then also some 7-0, 2-touchdown leads from these home teams, it looks like. Juju with a few big catches here early on. I'm expecting a draw right up the gut to Connor. Yeah, that's what they do. And he gets in the end zone, touchdown, Steelers. So after a slow start on the opening drive, Pittsburgh capitalizes off of the Bronco turnover. They drive, put up 6. After a lot of passes, not that many runs. I mean, they ran it when they had to. And then a few incompletions and almost an interception, but Connor gets in the end zone from a few yards out for the score. Atlanta on the road in the Big D, 14-0 on top of the Cowboys. not going to say just yet that it's time to give up on the Cowboys by any means, but hey, if they don't get things cooking early on or coming up soon, it could be a long year for them in the NFC East, especially in a division that they, with the talent that they have, could very well just run away with. But Boswell's extra point up and good. Steelers lead as we near the end of the first quarter, 7-0 over the visiting Denver Broncos. Once again, thanks for tuning in and watching. Like, follow, and subscribe on social media. Links in the description below. The thumbs up button. Share hashtag NFL. Chat questions and comments. Always greatly appreciated as well. 7-3 Rams on the road against the Eagles. Still with the football. So the Rams with some long drives here in the first quarter. I don't like their new uniforms. New logo, new unis. Go back to what they had over the past few years. Or even when they're in St. Louis. Go back to those rather than what the hell these are supposed to be. Highlight of Tampa with Brady finding Mike Evans, who didn't get a lot of looks last week. I mean, he did, but didn't have a catch until late. 23 yards out, and the Bucs lead the Panthers 14-0. So after a slow start, it's still early on in the season. It's only week 2. You know, teams are still trying to find rhythm. I'm not going to get worried about, like I said last week, about any of these teams until, of course, you know, unless you know, yeah, they suck, you know, from the get-go. They're not going to do anything. Yeah, there might be a surprise team or two as usual, but I'm not going to start worrying about, you know, teams not playing well or anything along those lines until about halfway through the season as usual, because they're still going to have an opportunity to get back into it, because you know teams are going to be playing each other, and you know teams are going to have to win or lose, wherever the outcome might be, of course. So a season like no other, with everything going on. I mean, it's still football. They're still just going out and playing football as they know it. And regardless of how the play is, I mean, the play wasn't bad last week. It seems like it's better today. But it's like this every year, regardless of whatever the situation is. But it's a little worse than that, just because of the restrictions with everything, with no preseason. You know, camp wasn't normal by any means, but we'll see what happens. Steelers going to kick off. Denver going to return it about a yard deep into the end zone, out to the 20. They'll have a 1st and 10 from there. And Drew Lock not coming back into the ball game just yet. It'll be the former Florida and Louisiana Tech quarterback, and Jeff Driscoll, number 9. And if I'm Pittsburgh, I'm bringing a lot of pressure. I'm going to be blitzing left and right. But with the way Denver was able to run the ball in their last drive before the fumble, Jeff Driscoll on, I believe his 3rd team, if I'm mistaken, in the league, just run the football. Get him comfortable back in the pocket. Open it up when you have to, but just run the football with Melvin Gordon. Rams with another scorer. Robert Woods, who just got an extension this past week as well. They don't care about the salary of the cap by any means. Talk about those Niners. And I believe he played for the Jets as well. So Jeff Driscoll game in the Meadowlands at MetLife. Niners lead 7-3. So 2nd and 9 after yard pickup by Gordon. Tim Patrick in motion. I mean, go to your tight end too, and Noah Fant, Nick Vanette, Jake Butt. Driscoll over the middle. It's going to be caught. Jerry Jeudy, the rookie out of Bama. He's going to pick up the 1st down for about 18 yards. Nice throw over the middle. Steelers did bring pressure. About 6. And I believe that was Minka on the missed tackle. Yeah, Just keep bringing pressure, keep hitting them. Eventually, he's going to make a mistake. Under center, Judy in motion. Gonna fake the give to Gordon, end around to Jerry Judy, excuse me, that is KJ Hamler, rookie out of Penn State, and we get about 8.5, 9 yards on that. About a yard shy of the first down. That Denver 10 and Denver 13 from a distance. Give them 9, 2nd and 1. Very, very similar. So that was KJ Hamler, who's standing right next to Deshaun Hamilton, another Penn State wideout, on the Broncos sideline now. 2nd and 1, and Denver going to lose a few yards. Going to be 3rd and about 3. TJ Watt on the stop. And yeah, as mentioned, Falcons 14-0 against the Cowboys. 14-3 Rams over the Eagles. Their offense looking pretty good here early on this season. They might be a surprise, to be honest with you, if they keep it up. See the Bill Belichick sweatshirt cut off. Hey, eat this rather than that commercial. Now you look better. 3rd and 3. Driscoll out of the gun. Steelers bring 4. He's going to step up, waves a man off, and it's going to be almost picked off. Incomplete. That was Terrell Edmonds, 34, out of Vaught Tech on the coverage. So Denver on to punt once again, and not a good sign for the Denver offense if Drew Lock cannot come back into this ballgame. I get too far ahead of myself by any means, but if Driscoll's going to be in and Pittsburgh's bringing pressure, they can't run the ball like they did on their last drive. A few short passes ain't going to cut it. You got to be able to move the ball vertically. And it might be a long afternoon for Denver if Locke does not come back. But they also have a good defense. Yeah, I get, okay, they've lost Von Miller for the season. There was a report this morning, though, that if they're in the playoff hunt late in December, he could very well come back and play. So we'll have to see about that in a few months or so. But and now it seems like the Rams are having trouble with the football on the kickoff for some reason, with getting the right amount of players, or they're going to have somebody come on to hold so they can kick off. Windy in the city of brotherly love this afternoon, but the sun is out. It's shining here this afternoon in the Keystone State. So Rams going to kick off. Be down to the end zone for a touchback regardless. So 1st and 10 from 25 for the Eagles. They have Bradley Chubb. Chubb at DN. They brought over Jarrell Casey from Tennessee, also on the D line. Their defense didn't play bad against Tannehill, Derrick Henry, and the Titans Monday night. But still found a way to lose that game after the Titans missed, I believe it was 4 field goals, 4 kicks with an extra point. And Gostkowski ended up kicking the game winner because they didn't use their clock management effectively. They didn't call timeouts when they should have. And they lost by 2, and rightfully so. And now you're on the road, cross country, week 2. Short week for both teams because the Steelers also play Monday night. Slow start by Pittsburgh, decent start by Denver. Pittsburgh gaining momentum, getting some rhythm now on offense. They'll get the ball back now once we come back from commercial. And now Denver on offense, Drew Lock down and out. Who knows if he'll even come back. And if not, like I just said, it might be a long afternoon for the Denver offense if they're not going to be able to run the football like they just did, or have them aired out, to whoever. But maybe special teams will play a key then, late when a lot of us probably won't be expecting it. We've seen turnovers too, so maybe that will be, a key to keep an eye on. But nonetheless, Rams 14-3 on the road against the Eagles. Coming back to Pittsburgh now. Steelers 7-0 against the Broncos.
Miami game. We're sorry, technical difficulties have interfered with that. We'll get you back to it as soon as we get that cleared up. Meanwhile,
And technical difficulties, not on my end, thank God right now at least, knock on wood. Don't want to jinx myself there either. But I assume with another game, if I'm not mistaken, Buffalo and Miami. Did I hear that correctly? Benny Snell on the carry out of Kentucky for a few yards. He played well last week, Monday night. I'd be fine with Snell being the go-to and Connor being your bell cow third down. Ben going to be brought down on the sack back inside the 10-yard line. He's saying there was a holding or a face mask and no flag, so yeah, pump fake on the screen. He should have got rid of it. Did not. Ben goes down on the sack. Third and 18. This will do it, though, for the first quarter. And a screen. Incomplete, intended for Jalen Samuels. Actually, Denver's going to have a second, so Pittsburgh going to have to come on to punt. Pittsburgh going to have to punt here with 1 second left to go in the first quarter. After a sack and then completion.
Sometimes when you're struggling a little bit, Greg, offensively, a big play in the kicking game, a big return can kind of jumpstart the
Eagles down their punt. Actually, they say touchback. First and 10 Rams. When we come back from that, Denver on the return. And not a good punt from Pittsburgh. More so the coverage with the return. So now at the end of 1, Steelers 7, Broncos nothing. That's either first and 10, excuse me, from the 1, or if they say touchback, they can't review that. Touchback, first and 10 from the 20 for the Rams. So keeping an eye on both these games here early on. We'll see where they spotted the ball at. Because Philly was saying they downed it, but then the refs said it was a touchback. So if the Zebras are saying it was a touchback, it's a touchback. And yeah, officially, first and 10 now at the 20. As they also are under a minute to play in the first. Play clock running down, Goff under center. Gonna fake the give, roll out, looking for Higbee. The dish is off to him. He's gonna pick up a first down for 13. But as mentioned, coming up at halftime, stats and scores from around the league. And then Monday Night Football, live reactions, play-by-play tomorrow night. As well with the Raiders opening up their new stadium in Vegas against the Saints. Goff on the screen near side, complete. Another big first down pickup for the Ram offense. That goes for 12. And that'll do it in Philly at the end of 1 as well. They actually get another snap off. It's complete in midfield. So the Rams to begin quarter 2 will have a second and about 3. Up 14-3 on the Eagles. Steelers lead Denver 7-0, as mentioned as well at the end of 1. So these are early 1 o'clock games now. Ending first, beginning second quarter about. And come 4 o'clock about as well. We'll have some finals, but we'll see how Denver does on offense here with Driscoll if Drew Lock hasn't come back in. As we're beginning the second quarter now.
Here in Pittsburgh, and those of you who joined us from watching the Miami game, we apologize for the delay in getting things together.
Yeah, there's a delay in Miami with the Bills and Dolphins for some reason on CBS's end. So those fans are now watching Denver and Pittsburgh, and Drew Lock's still not in the ball game. 1st and 10 from the 37. Rollout pressure from Pittsburgh. It's going to be caught inside the 20. Nice throw. Complete to Jerry Jeudy. Get him involved early and often and keep going to him. He's going to have a big career here, it seems like, if he keeps this up from how he played on Monday night and early on today on the road. But 9 times out of 10, when you come from Alabama and you've won all the time in college and won a few national championships, you're going to have a good NFL career. We have movement, both sides up front. Let's see what they call this. Probably going to be a false start. False start, 5 yards. They'll replay the down. That was on Jake Butt.
You just can't have mistakes, especially this part of the field. Everybody's got to do a little bit more. You know, your starting quarterback is out of the game. Everyone's got to pick up the effort, the intensity a little bit. You look at Denver, Jay mentioned this earlier, Greg, that, you know, their losses. A lot of their losses have come when they've had leads late.
1st and 15 officially now. Last time Denver was in this situation, they fumbled. Pressure from Pittsburgh. Down on the sack. Ball comes out. They're going to say he was down. He was down. He was down before that ball came out. There was a fumble, so. A corner blitz from Hilton. Highsmith out of Charlotte brought some pressure as well. He's been getting a few snaps on defensive linebacker here early on this season as well, too. So, Cam Hayward along with Hilton on the tackle. 2nd and a mile now for the Broncos. Hilton and I believe Sean Davis, if I'm not mistaken, have been the 2 secondary players that have been playing well here today. Minka in and out, but Cam Hayward once again on the stop. 3rd down. Jonathan Taylor now seems to be the go-to back in Indy, scoring his first NFL touchdown. 7-3 Colts against the Vikings. 3rd and 25 officially from the 32. So they need the 7-yard line for 1st and goal. Quick completion to Cortland Sutton. That goes for a yard. So here comes Temple's own Brandon McManus for a field goal. And week 1 woes for field goals. Well, Gostkowski had most of those last Monday night. We had 19 missed field goals. 2 of them were blocked. 5 missed extra points. 24 missed kicks in week 1. That was the most since 1983. Wow, that's a little surprising. I didn't think there was that many last week. But this is going to be from just inside 50. 49-yarder for McManus. They cut the lead to 4. And it's going to be up and good. Right down Broadway. 7-3. We got some pushing and shoving. But the Broncos cut it to 4. 7-3 Pittsburgh with 12:07 to play in the first half. Once again, thanks for tuning in and watching. Like, follow, and subscribe. Thumbs up button, chat questions and comments. Super chats, super stickers, always greatly appreciated. As well, 14-3 still LA on top of the Eagles. In Philly at the link.
Go to room.com to sell your car and get an offer in minutes. Managing type 2 diabetes? You're on it.
Be sure to share if you haven't done so already as well. Hit that share button, hashtag NFL on social media. And also, if you have not subscribed, hit that red subscribe button, as next week we'll have more live reactions of the Steelers. We'll host the Houston Texans, who are hosting the Ravens today. That's a game to keep an eye on, with both Lamar Jackson and Deshaun Watson. Texans' first team since the 05 Baltimore Ravens to face, in the first 2 weeks of the year, the last two NFL MVPs, and Patrick Mahomes and Lamar Jackson. So that game will be at 4:25. That'll be on my area. The Chargers also opening up SoFi on their end against the Chiefs, as mentioned. That'll be Midwest, West Coast for that region, for that area. But also next week, WWE Clash of Champions, live reactions, play-by-play. That was originally scheduled for tonight, but they pushed it back a week until the 27th. So we'll have to see how that goes with go-home shows now this upcoming week inside the WWE Thunderdome. But hit subscribe if you haven't done so already. We'll have preview prediction videos, live reaction streams of college football, NFL, and professional wrestling, as the Big Ten is officially coming back as well. And we'll get more into that coming up at halftime. Rams right on the goal line, looking to score again. I believe they just did, reaching for the pylon. And Goff leading the Rams now to a 21-3 lead on the road against the Eagles after that extra point's up and good. Tyler Higbee, early and often for him too. A few touchdown receptions this afternoon. And still, Buffalo and Miami in a delay. All right, they put Ray McLeod back deep rather than Deontay Johnson, who's had some miscues. His return out past the 20 to around the 22. Got to be able to block up front. Can't take a sack like he did last drive. I mean, they've ran the ball. There was a fumble on that. So Pittsburgh, if they would have challenged that, they probably would have won that because they recovered. And Denver wouldn't have the field goal. But we move on. It's all right. For now, at least. 1st and 10 from 22. Ben far side, it's complete. And James Washington once again on another reception here in the first half. He's sort of moved from the number 3 receiver to the 4th spot with the addition of Chase Claypool out of Notre Dame, who had a few catches last week. But then also they bring in a better receiving tight end in Eric Ebron as well. And they need to go to the tight ends a little bit more here today, I believe, compared to how they did last week. But just work the clock, run the ball, throw when you have to. Play good defense. Defense is playing stout once again tonight. So we got a whistle. And now we're going to have a stoppage, an official timeout. Anybody tuning in from Buffalo, Miami, because of their delay, the Bills extend their lead by 7. It's 14-7 now. So we got an official timeout for, okay, bring up chain gang, measurement. And that's first down. By the nose of a football, first down Steelers. There's Mike Tomlin. Coaches and players wearing masks on the sideline. NFL did come out and say, hey, they were for you last week, week 1, that didn't. You don't start, we're going to dock you some money out of your bank account and update with Detroit Green Bay. Discount, double check. Packers still doing the Lambeau Leap with no fans. And touchdown Green Bay. Pass far sideline complete. Deontay Johnson, all right. First down Steelers, it looks like, depending on the spot. So 14-10 Lions over the Pack. Here's an update with Bills and Dolphins. Josh Allen. Nobody circles the wagons like the Buffalo Bills. 14-7, 11 minutes to play the first half. Okay, so power must have went out in Miami. That's why they lost the coverage with the delay. Flag comes in here. Big first down run by James Conner once again. This will probably be a hold. Going to come back. They'll replay the down. That looks to be the case with everybody backing up. Holding on the offense. On Deontay Johnson. Jesus Christ. Does he know how to do anything right?
Years ago, I did a game in Buffalo where a Mylar balloon caused a power outage. Quickest NFL game I've ever seen in my life.
But they say Buffalo, Miami back up and running. I mean, the game's continued on. It was just the broadcast. But only now in select areas, so they say. Carson Wentz on the scramble, going to be a few yards shy of the first down. Ben, bubble screen near side, complete. Another first down for the Steelers. Deontay Johnson, all right. So he does something bad, but the next play or a few plays later, he makes up for it. So he's even. It's working out. And now Drew Lock going to be out for the remainder of the game with a right shoulder injury. I wouldn't be surprised if it's a sprained AC joint or a dislocated shoulder by any means, but it'll be Jeff Driscoll the remainder of the game for the Denver offense. They're going to need John Elway to come back if they want to win this ball game. Pass over the middle, incomplete, intended for Vance Ronald McDonald, who for sure was in quarantine for about 100 days, it seems like. But Falcons 20-0 on the road against the Cowboys. That is a little surprising. They're going to be calling for Mike McCarthy's head even more than what they did last week. Not kicking a field goal. Now they're not even scoring a point. Ben pump fakes. It's going to be deflected at the line of scrimmage, incomplete. So third down and 10. But if Pittsburgh's going to be moving the ball like this the rest of the game, picking up first down, left and right, just doing what you got to do, and the Steeler defense is able to stop Denver on offense, it's going to be a no-brainer. Especially with Locke out now for the rest of the game. If he'd come back, that'd be different. But we'll see how it plays out. 3rd and 10 from the 46. Ben pump fakes. It's deflected once again at the line of scrimmage. Falls incomplete. 4th down and 10. Now the Steelers drive stalls, and they're going to have to punt. Justin Simmons out of BC with a nice big stop coming up from the safety position. He's played well his whole NFL career for the past 5 years or so out of Boston College. 4th down. And Denver back deep to receive. Philly's got to find a way to come back down 21-3 as well. Yeah, if Dak's not playing well, if they're not scoring any points, I mean, they didn't look bad last week. They just had a few, on Sunday Football against the Rams, a few key mistakes that they didn't execute. And, yeah, he wants, what, $100 million a year? They're going to let him walk. And Wentz, if this, keeps up, he'll be out of Philly, too. Just by the looks of it, but, like I said time and time again, it's still so early on in the season. even myself included, I know I'm overreacting on a few things, but who doesn't? You know, everybody does. It just depends on what it is. And I mean, Philly with a decent drive now inside. Here comes Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts into the ball game for Philly, especially when they have him sitting behind Wentz. Like, if the play's not well and he comes in and starts lighting it up, yeah, there might not be any looking back. Okay, so Hurts comes on, but then comes off. Eagles have a first and goal at the 8. So this drive, they're actually doing something, it seems like. Miles Sanders is going to be stuffed, no gain on the pickup. But, yeah, for Denver, gonna be hard to come back here, it looks like. Now, I get, okay, they're getting the ball back. Maybe they, you know, cap off a few big runs, and all they're going to need is some momentum. Going to be easier than normal, especially on the road, but because no fans, that's why I say that. A really still young and unexperienced quarterback in Jeff Driscoll, not doing a whole lot in his NFL career. He's more of a backup than anything else, and now he's getting a shot. And if Locke's going to be out, I'm not going to be shocked if Denver goes out and tries to get a different quarterback to come in, whether that's via trade, for agency, whatever the case may be. But we'll see what happens here. We still got a lot of game left to play, so let it play out, and then we'll go from there, of course. All hypothetical. All hypothetical. First and 10 from the 11. And he's going to hand off Gordon near side for a few yards. Yeah, Pittsburgh's defense, especially the backup quarterback, like I said, just bring pressure and keep bringing pressure. Get after him. I mean, they sacked him once. He had a fumble as well, but they didn't call it. And so, Jalen Hurts back in for Philly. Stopped at the 1-yard line. It'll be goal to go for Philly. Miles Sanders going to be down at the 1, and get in. Down at the inch line. Saquon got injured today as well, along with Nick Bosa and Anthony Barr. Wow. A lot of early season injuries once again in the NFL this year. It's every few years it's like that. Remember a few years back when Jordy Nelson got hurt in a preseason game on the road against the Steelers for the Pack. And then his career was never the same afterwards. Jerry Jeudy on the reception over the middle. He takes a hard hit. Picks up the first down. Takes a hard hit on the tackle. He's down and injured right now. No flag. It's helmet to helmet by any means or not. Devin Bush on the stop. Now that's shoulder to shoulder. He got hit hard down. He's still down. Devin Bush with a nice big stop. But first and 10 coming up for Denver when we return to hit a commercial break during the injury. Eagles with the ball. Looking at their offensive line. There's about 10 different guys that could play. And they're going to have to go to one of those other guys because they got an offensive lineman down and now injured as he walks off the field. So they're going to have to rotate there. Just as Pittsburgh and a lot of these teams with all these injuries.
Imagine a day, a
Injuries is the big topic right now in the NFL and football overall.
No, don't you dare.
Early this season, with as many as we've had, which not by any means that's a good thing, but you know, you sign up, you know you're going to get hit, you know there's a chance you're going to get hurt. So, Philly touchdown, Wentz on the quarterback keeper, looked like 21-9. Yeah, touchdown, Carson Wentz and the Philadelphia Eagles. And they're going to go for 2. Eagles are going to go for 2 to make it a 10-point ball game. That's not a bad decision. But if you don't get it and it comes back to bite you, well, then it's your own fault. Because it's still early on in the first half. Like, I understand going for 2 in the third or fourth quarter, but Doug Peterson going to roll the dice. And hell, if they don't win, he might be on his way out. Even if he has won a Super Bowl or not. Toss play far side, and Philly's not going to get it. No gain on the play. Try is no good for 2 points. 21-9. 21-9. Should have just kicked the extra point, right? Yeah. Hey, that's what they decided to do, so be it. But if it comes back to bite them, well, like I said, it's only fault. So, yeah, injuries has been a big discussion. And now Jerry Jeudy. Okay, he walked off under his own power, but I'm sure he's seeing double or maybe even triple right now. It was shoulder to shoulder. There was no helmet to helmet. I mean, it's hard, but I mean, the game has changed, and you know, players are trying to be as safe as possible. But you know, you're still going to get hit. Like, that is the thing. So it was a big hit, and hell, if he can't return, Melvin Gordon is probably their best offensive player with how they played so far today with running the football, because other than going to Jerry Jeudy, and they haven't used their tight ends at all. They haven't done a damn thing on offense. Denver Broncos, this is. Hey, the feed me Ezekiel Elliott Dallas Cowboys finally scored 20-7. 3rd and 6 for Denver. 7-3, 7:52 and counting to play in the first half. Third and 4. Driscoll going to be sacked. Cameron Hayward, Stephon Tuitt, T.J. Watt back at the 25-yard line. And the Broncos on a punt once again. Just bring pressure and keep bringing pressure. That's all you have to do. And if you get beat on a, junk throw, so be it at that point. Hopefully the secondary would be there to, make the stop right away or even intercept it if it's, that bad. So Pittsburgh going to have under 7 here to play in the first half. All 3 timeouts, up 4 to try to drive and extend their lead before halftime. And Deontay Johnson, this might come back for a block in the back, but Deontay Johnson on the punt return now down the near sideline. He's going to return this to the house. Touchdown Steelers. Now flag comes in. Jesus Christ. This is coming back. This is 1st and 10. Steelers back to the 20-yard line. Jesus Christ. No shit is coming back. What other flag would be on the field right now? And what would it be for, other than a illegal block of the back or a holder? Jeez. Johnson does something right. During the return, illegal block in the back. Yeah, I can't hear you now. Your mic went out. First down. We'll see where they spot the ball at, depending on where the foul occurred, of course. But that's not even blocking back. Not that one. I saw one before that they didn't even call. But yet they call that? Maybe, yeah. An 81-yard punt return for a touchdown, coming back for a penalty. Jesus Christ. So 1st and 10 now, back at the 16-yard line. God. Ben going deep down the far sideline. Has a man. Chase Claypool. He's going to break a tackle. All right. One play later, touchdown Steelers. Forget about the 81-yard punt return for a touchdown that came back for a penalty. Roethlisberger finds Claypool for, 84 yards and a score. 13-3, pending the Boswell extra point. And Chase Claypool playing well early on in his NFL career. These first 2 games. Had a hell of a catch. Toe dragging it down the sideline last week. A few other catches. Ben even got drilled as he let it go. Did he step out of bounds by any means? I don't think so. And Claypool breaks one tackle and into the end zone for the score. His first NFL touchdown. Ben almost 200 yards passing now on a touchdown in the first half. And Ben Roethlisberger just passed Eli Manning on the all-time NFL passing touchdown list for 8th all-time. Now, if Eli was still playing, they'd be going back and forth. But Ben passed as a former draft member of his back in 04. Did he step out? No. Wow. Yeah, let's go for it. Let's just first play. Go deep. I don't think he stepped out. He might have stepped out right there, looking at that shot. Are they looking at this? Well, all scoring plays are reviewed, so I assume they are. They might call this back. Right? No, this next one. Yeah, it's right foot right there. But on this shot, confirmed, it stands, touchdown Steelers. Did not step out, even though right there it looked like he did, but obviously they didn't find enough to overturn it in reverse. So touchdown, black and gold, 13-3. And yeah, forget about the punt return and the penalty. We're going to go deep and we're going to score. Feed Zeke 20-7. He gets in from a few yards out as the boys cut the lead against the visiting Falcons.
These corners, especially the rookie, LJ Mudia. He's going to get challenged now. You Ben Roethlisberger, every time you got it.
Jared Goff and the Rams from the 30 incomplete near side.
Safeties. Green Jackson and Justin Simmons going to have to help the rookie corner.
Now Boswell, after the touchdown and the review, on to attempt the extra point. Steelers now lead the Denver Broncos 14-3 with 6:23 to play in the first half. Gonna take a very quick split screen commercial, and Pittsburgh on to kickoff when we return. The Steeler defense putting the Steeler offense in these good positions. Able to stop the Denver offense. Some decent field possession, nothing spectacular. But, okay, punt return for a touchdown. Called back. Is what it is. They threw the flag. They called it. So, but hey, one play later, here we are, and the Steelers score. So we move on, and they extend the lead.
You never know what you're going to see here in beautiful Pittsburgh. I was out walking around talking to some of the Pitt Panther fans who couldn't go to the game, but yet we're still tailgating. Brought their boats up there along the river, sitting out there watching the game. As Pitt took on Syracuse, got a big win here.
Pittsburgh has had 160 yards on the last 2 plays. One that didn't count, of course, but they tacked a few more on and scored a play later anyway. And compared to Denver on offense, they only have 47 total passing yards for the game, when Pittsburgh just hit an 84-yard score. So, not saying this could get ugly, but this could get ugly before too long if the Steeler defense is able to make stops and Denver's defense not playing well, not holding Pittsburgh to anything. Driscoll going to go deep down the far sideline, has a man. So now both these offenses starting to air it out. That's Cortland Sutton. Big first down pickup for Denver there. Move the sticks. Yeah, good play call. Hey, you do it, we can do the same thing. Well, here we are. Of course, that didn't go for a touchdown by any means, but yeah. Maybe we're going to have ourselves a shootout if Denver can get back into this. But if it gets to that point, they'll go back to how they started the game. Both these people start running the football again, hopefully, play good defense. And that's Tyson Alalulu on the sack. Driscoll goes down once again. This Steeler defense might have a baker's dozen in sacks by the end of the ball game. This keeps up. Watt off the edge. He eluded him, and then up the middle. Boom. Down goes Jeff Driscoll. Second and 20 officially, under 5 to play now in the first half. Tampa extends their lead as well, 21-0 against the Carolina Panthers. They have another whistle, and the Broncos are going to call another timeout. So their second timeout here in the first half. Jerry Jeudy probable to return with a rib injury. So Denver probably the worst off of all these 32 NFL teams with injuries. Von Miller. Phil Lindsay was out entering today. 2 of their best offensive players go down in the game today. So there's Pat Shurmur, former Brown and Giant head coach, as the Denver offensive coordinator. And if ball going to be batted down, caught, Driscoll actually catches it, but it's incomplete, they say. He threw it, it was batted down, so he could catch it, but they say incomplete. It looked like he caught it there for a second, but then it was going to get drilled. Batted down. He had it, dropped it last second. Yeah, if by any means, with Pat Shurmur, with how the Cleveland and Giant offenses looked when he was there, and now an unexperienced quarterback for the Broncos, another incompletion, 4th down. Those 3 points that honestly they probably should have never gotten, because there was a fumble. If Pittsburgh would have challenged, they probably would have won it, got the ball back, but of course they didn't, kick the field goal, so it is what it is. these 3 points might be the only points Denver scores all day. But here comes Brandon McManus from the moon for a field goal. And it's going to be wide right. And it was from 58 officially. 58-yard field goal, no good. So it's good from 49, no good from 58. Still 14-3 Steelers. They'll get the ball back, 4:41 to play in the first half. Maybe they can capitalize off of a missed field goal now and extend the lead once again. Just thought, the punt return, okay, it was going to go for a few yards and they're going to score. Flag, play later, they score off the passing touchdown, but Pittsburgh today compared to Denver, even after a slow start, and Denver started out better, but the tides have turned. Pittsburgh's up here, Denver's like right here, and it's starting to extend or even dwindle down for that matter for the Broncos. But nonetheless, still should be, you would think a good rest of the 35 minutes and change that are left. But looks like Pittsburgh is going to run the ball here as much as they can. 2nd and 8.
4:15 to play first half.
Ebron in motion. Another handoff. James Conner. Flag comes in. That's probably a hold. Yeah, we're going to have a holding on Pittsburgh again.
Well, the reason he called it, he was grabbing. He get him for holding.
Holding on the offense. Eric Ebron, 10 yards, they'll replay 2nd down. It'll be 2nd and 18. Philly can't get anything going. They still trail 21-9. They need to go to the tight end more. They did. I mean, maybe a few catches last week and, today, but... And Chase Claypool is getting involved early, but... They need to go to the tight end more, I think. Another handoff. Connor, 2 yards, 3rd down, and Austin, 3:16. 3:36 to play here in the first half. Denver has 1 timeout left, so... We'll see if they try to use some better clock management today compared to last Monday night and give their offense a little bit more time with a 2-minute warning approaching here at the end of the first half to, try to go out and do something. Especially down 11 on the road with a backup quarterback now playing because of an injury. And Deontay Johnson once again on the reception. Going to be brought down for the first down marker. 4th down Steelers. They'll punt once again. But with a 14-3 lead, I mean, that drive, they really didn't need to do much. Play it safe. Especially when they're going to get the ball to begin the second half. So, I mean, I understand if that was different. Maybe do something here. But when your defense is playing as good, if not better, than your offense, you really don't need to do a whole lot, especially when you have a lead. Pittsburgh gonna take a false start here, it looks like, or delay a game. And okay, yeah, still going to be 4th down. We knew that. Back him up 5 yards. Give Colquitt, who came over from Kansas City, a few more yards to pin him deep. So maybe Pittsburgh, even with 3 timeouts, are able to get the ball back here if they can stop Denver. If they have it, it's going to be 1st and 10 at the 20. Bounces right inside the pylon on the far side in the corner of the end zone. I'd say 1st and whatever from, or second down from the 1 or 2 yard line. That'd be different. Now, Denver with a 1 timeout. Well, 2-minute warning here after this upcoming play. 2:09 to play officially in the first half. Trailing by 11. They'll try to do something here, but if Pittsburgh can still get a stop, use their timeouts, potentially get the ball back, I'd say if they can make a stop here with, maybe 30 seconds. And the last scoring drive, it was 1 play, so they're not going to need much time, it looks like. But just keep bringing pressure. Get after them. 1st and 10 from the 20. Pass over the middle. It's going to be intercepted at the 35-yard line. Joe Hayden. So enough with all that. They don't even need to stop them. They just pick them off. And Pittsburgh setting up shop. 2-minute warning. 1:58 officially. Still all 3 timeouts. Up 11. Inside the red zone. Knocking on the door. Looking to extend their lead now before halftime. So turnovers. Some penalties. This game back and forth. Some good play, some bad play. We're seeing it all today. And we'll head to a commercial break. 2 minutes to play. Steeler football after the pick. Up 11. 14-3 here this afternoon. Once again, thanks for tuning in and watching. Like, follow, and subscribe on social media. Hit that thumbs up button. Share hashtag NFL, hashtag DEN for Denver versus PIT for Pittsburgh on social media. Chat questions and comments or chats. Super stickers, always greatly appreciated as well. Coming up at halftime, first half stats and scores from around the league. So stay tuned for those. Rams still lead the Eagles 21-9. Fumble there. Looks like Higbee coughing it up. Or Cooper Kupp, excuse me. Who switched from 18 to 10 this year. A lot of players I noticed after last Sunday's stream with the Bucs and Saints, a lot of players have switched numbers, which I wasn't aware of course, but hey, if that's what you want to do, so be it. We have to get used to the watching, of course, but I've noticed too, and I knew, but I completely forgot, of course, because with everything going on, Eagles, in the meantime, score. Miles Sanders, Booby Miles in the end zone for a Philadelphia Eagle touchdown. We'll see if that 2-point, comes back to bite them or not. We'll see what they do here. Whether they kick it or go for 2 again. But I noticed in college, with everything going on, completely forgetting, not knowing if we're going to have a season by any means or not, college players are now allowed to wear the number 0. As we've seen a few weeks of college football now. But we'll get more into all that coming up at halftime, so stay tuned. But Steelers playing good, even better on defense today than what they did last Monday night. Extra point. Going to be up and good. So 21-16 Rams over the Eagles. And the Falcons extend their lead, another passing touchdown from Matty Ice, Matt Ryan, over the Dallas Cowboys. Yeah, we've had injuries in this ball game too. More so the Denver side than not. But mentioned earlier, a lot of injuries just all over the league, across the board, left and right. But 14-3, Steeler ball, 1st and 10. Hey, maybe the Bears are back. 17-0 over the Giants at halftime. Steelers 1st and 10 from the 11. Roethlisberger looking to throw. Don't do anything stupid here. James Conner on the reception, 2nd and about 4 from the 5. They're going to call timeout. So they'll have 2 remaining here. Just run the ball now. Go to your tight end on a play action in the back corner. Just don't do anything stupid. Do not turn the ball over. You have a perfect situation here where you can score points. So just don't mess it up. Or Denver actually called a timeout there. Why the hell did they call their last timeout? It's not like they're not probably going to get the ball back here shortly, after a score by any means from the Steelers, but maybe they're learning from their miscues or mistakes last Monday night with the clock management now. 2nd and 4 from the 5. They need the 1. For a 1st and goal, Connor on the carry. A touchdown would be better. He's going to be right there at the 1st down marker. Going to be 3rd and inches, it looks like. Halftime in Philly, as we're playing in both the western and eastern parts of the state this afternoon. The Rams lead the Eagles 21-16. The Steelers are going to lead the Broncos at halftime here. Let's see what the score is, but it's currently 14-3. 3rd and 1, another handoff up the gut. Connor, no, nothing. Jeez. They're going to settle for a field goal. Kick it. I'd kick. Take the points. Take the points. They'll wind this clock until they have to call a timeout with about 41, 42 seconds. Yeah, they'll drain this clock. Call timeout. I mean, hell, you can still even take a delay game, back kicker up 5 yards in this situation. He'd still be fine kicking it. Now, if you miss it, okay, that's different. But on paper, it's the right thing to do. So they take it down to 42 seconds, call a timeout. Steelers are now going to kick a field goal with Chris, the Wizard of Boswell. Halftime report on Fox. They'll have stats and scores. CBS will have stats and scores. I'll have stats and scores, so stay tuned. But Atlanta routing Dallas. The Bears, along with the Niners, over both New York teams. Comes Boswell. A chip shot from 21. Snap was a little off. They get the hold down. Kicks up and good. 17-3 now. Steelers on top of the Broncos with 39 seconds to play in the first half. So Denver, they'll have no timeouts. 39 seconds to try to do something. I doubt they will, but you never know. Brady and the Bucks all over Carolina. 21-0 at halftime there as well. Detroit was surprisingly leading Rodgers in the pack. But then Rodgers with another passing touchdown, and the Packers lead now by 3. But we'll have full stats and scores coming up shortly. Pittsburgh defense playing exceptionally well once again. And, I mean, if Locke wouldn't have got hurt, yeah, this could be a completely different ballgame right now. But at the same time, it might not be. Pittsburgh might still be playing, as good, if not better than what they are now. And it could be the same. It could be a little less. It could be even worse, though, too. So Denver on offense, they had that one good drive. Well, 2 good drives, I'll say, because the one ended in points. And the third one then missed field goal. Like, they've gotten in position for that, but unable to put up points other than the one they made, of course. 59 consecutive games with at least 1 sack. The Steelers lead the way in that category. That goes back, what, 5 years? About 4.5, 5 years, I'd say. KJ Hamler, completion near side, 1st and 10 Broncos. So, like I was saying with Locke and Driscoll now in for him. I mean, 1st and 10, 42. Deep down the middle. Has a man, incomplete the 5-yard line. So they're taking shots, and rightfully so. I mean, you want to think they want to be.
Hamler's not very big. He's only 5'9", but he's got a chance. Just can't squeeze it.
And he took another hit too. Bud Dupree.
He's going to be a sore guy on the flight home today.
I'd say so.
27 seconds on the clock.
I would say so. Steelers on the sack. They have 2 timeouts. I mean, 3rd down coming. This should do it for the first half. Denver's not going to get anything going, it looks like. But nonetheless, like I said, they had that one good drive where they were running the ball extremely well, and then it ended in a fumble, and that was the play that Locke went down on, injuring his shoulder. And other than that, I mean, they've had a few good passes, a few good receptions, but the Steeler defense bringing the steel curtain down once again. You know, just playing extremely well, keeping them in the ball game offensively. You know, they started out slow, found rhythm, you know, late first quarter, early second. This is last year once again, and have taken another lead into halftime. So they had a few more seconds back on the clock here. Driscoll looking to throw, and incomplete near side, and 10 for Tim Patrick. Now a late flag comes in. Jesus Christ, what the hell is this for? Pass interference on Tim Patrick on the Denver Broncos. So penalty is going to be declined, 4th down. So Denver's going to have to punt. And we just saw a punt return for a touchdown that got called back. So they punt it to him, they kick it to him. Steelers have 1 timeout, 13 seconds. Depending on how the outcome of the punt return is, if they have some decent field possession, we'll see if they take a shot or not. They'll probably just end up taking a knee. But I just play it safe. You have a 14-point lead at the halftime. And then I'd play it safe in the second half as well. Ball going to go out of bounds. 7 seconds. They'll probably just take a knee. They'll probably just take a knee here, it looks like. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You have to run, throw, and play good defense. It's got to be balanced. Yeah, correct.
It's just too much to overcome. This is a young, inexperienced offensive line. You got a rookie at center, Cushionberry.
Yeah.
And then you've got
Pittsburgh just going to take a knee here at halftime this afternoon. The Steelers lead the visiting Broncos by a score of 17-3. CBS, along with Fox, they'll continue their halftime reports. See if we have any news or updates around the sporting world before we tune in to stats and scores. Saquon out with an injury. Yeah, a lot more injuries around the league today. Nick Bosa, Niners. Anthony Barr mentioned with the Vikings.
It's like an 8-lane highway compared to a 2-lane dirt road.
25 times faster than today's 4G networks.
In fact, it's the fastest 5G in
The
the world.
College Football AP poll released.
5G built right. Only on Verizon.
I don't know if there's any new Big Ten teams in that or not. With the return to play. check into that a little bit later on. But yeah, Big Ten football coming back a little over a month away. It'll be October the 24th, a week from Thursday. A month from Thursday, excuse me. They released the schedule yesterday. It'll be an 8-game season from the 24th until December the 19th, where they'll then have Champions Week. They'll have the conference championship, and then 2 will play 2 in the seeding, 3 will play 3. So each team will get 9 games. And then if you're bowl eligible, you'll play 10 games on the year. And whatever your record is at that point, so be it. So we'll finish up. But as mentioned, yeah, we'll have live reactions, play-by-play of College football with Penn State when that time rolls around. So keep an eye out for those live streams, live right here on YouTube. Pittsburgh Steelers live reaction streams will continue. They'll host the Texans next Sunday, also at 1 p.m. And then they'll go on the road on October the 4th to the Tennessee Titans. So the schedule not really, early on here at least, in their favor by any means. They're playing some very, very good teams. I mean, the first 2 weeks here, probably wish-washy, not as good as the next 2 weeks. But still some good competitors with the Giants and Broncos. And if they just continue to play all season long, the Pittsburgh Steelers says, as they played last Monday night and tonight, I get the slow start, you're going to see that. I mean, we've seen that around the league. But with other teams starting fast now, too, it's up and down. It's all over the place. It's how it always is. You know, they'll be fine. Yeah, eventually they'll have to play, you know, their rivals in the AFC North, you know, for a total of 6 games. And we'll get to those, you know, when we get to those later on in the season. I know they play the Ravens at home on Thanksgiving night. They'll go to Baltimore about a month from now on October the 25th. And, you know, home and home with the Bengals and Browns, who met on Thursday Night Football as well. Cleveland with that 5.35 to 30 victory over the Tiger King, Joe Burrow, and the Cincinnati Bengals. So yeah, Denver and Pittsburgh at halftime. And the Steelers lead 17-3. Drew Lock out injured, as mentioned, with a shoulder injury. Some other stats and scores. Bears, Giants just began the third quarter, 17-0 there. Some highlights for the first time of Jacksonville and Tennessee. Titans lead 24-10. They also just began the second half. Along with the 49ers and Jets, 21-3 in the Meadowlands. Vikings trail by 12, 15-3, a very odd score. They're also now just beginning the second half. Colts lead 15-3. Packers, it was 17-14. That's still halftime. Falcons 29-10 on the road against the Cowboys. Bills lead the Dolphins 17-10. Rams lead the Eagles 21-16. And the Bucks lead the Panthers 21-0. Still to come this afternoon, though, the Washington football team, the Redskins, are on the road against the Cardinals. Chiefs, Chargers, Ravens, Texans, along with Sunday Night Football, a Super Bowl 49 rematch with the New England Patriots and Seattle Seahawks. Monday Night Football tomorrow night is the New Orleans Saints in Sin City taking on the Vegas Raiders for the first time. As the new Vegas Raiders. But the Raiders will always be the Raiders. Saquon injured, not a good sign there for him. He's been injured early on in his career a few too many times. And if they can't block for him, well, stuff like that's going to happen. So we'll see what happens with that and with all these other injuries, you know, around the league. But first half stats now for the Broncos and Steelers, 17-3. Drew Lock was only 1 of 5 for 20 yards before he went down with an injury. Jeff Driscoll in his absence, 6 of 14, 117 yards passing, and an interception. Melvin Gordon, 10 for 49, carrying the football. Cortland Sutton has 3 catches for 66 yards. Jerry Jeudy, 3 of 54. He's also now injured. with a rib injury, and then KJ Hamler 1 of 17. Other than that, Denver hasn't done anything on offense. McManus has the field goal. That's their load points. Ben Roethlisberger, Pittsburgh Steelers, 11 of 18, 188 yards passing, and a touchdown. James Conner, 9 for 34 with a score as well. And then Chase Claypool, 1 catch for that 84-yard touchdown reception. Deontay Johnson had a punt return, got called back. He's had a slow start. They went to Claypool, though, play later for the score. Johnson, 3 of 37. Juju, 3 of 34. A quiet day for Juju Smith-Schuster once again with the Steeler offense. Tight ends sort of get involved. They need to go to them more, though, I think. Eric Ebron, 1 for 15. And then James Washington has 2 catches for 12 yards as well. And then also Chris Boswell with a field goal. So 17-3 at halftime with the Pittsburgh Steelers leading the Denver Broncos. And luckily, as mentioned, knock on wood still, don't want to jinx, but it was in the first half, week 2 last year, in the Steelers home opener, when Ben Roethlisberger went down with that season-ending elbow injury that he has since returned from, and has looked well in doing so. But I remember sitting here, it was a year ago, this past Tuesday, when that occurred. A year tomorrow, this past Monday night, as mentioned during the live stream, that had happened. Jimmy Garoppolo now injured. The 49ers with Nick Bosa, Solomon Thomas, and Jimmy Garoppolo all down and out injured this afternoon. Saquon Barkley as well for the Giants. Injuries right now, the big topic of discussion around the NFL with all these star players being injured. Now, is that because, of course, there was no preseason? There was not as much training camp as usual, or not? I don't know. I mean, you would think to an extent, yeah, but like still, you wouldn't think that'd be the case, but why else are they getting hurt? But as mentioned, you know you're going to get banged up. You know you're going to get hurt, you know, when you sign up to play. So it's nothing new. Like, everybody gets hurt eventually. And, or if not, you know, you're one of the lucky ones, of course. But, just, you hate to see it. For whoever is, whatever team, whether you like the player or not, yeah, it's just not a good thing by any means at all. And you know, hopefully, as we've seen a few in this game, hopefully these players, they're not going to be all season ending injuries. I mean, a few of them haven't looked as good as others, but you know, we'll see what happens. It's still a long season. Still, you know, a lot of football to be played. So even if they do get hurt now, and they're only going to be out for however long, you know, they're going to have a chance to eventually come back, hopefully. Because like I said, you just hate them, regardless of who it is, you just hate to see it. But, yeah, a lot of injuries. That might very well be a good question for social media this week. But I believe this week's already filled up. We'll have to look at next week with the NBA playoffs winding down. We've got the conference finals going on right now. The NHL Stanley Cup just started last night. NASCAR in their playoffs. So everything that was, and we got a week left of the MLB regular season, everything that was postponed back in the spring or summer until the return over the past few months or so is starting to, you know, come down the wire. they'll be done with. I mean, hockey is going to be done by the end of next week, I believe it is, after Game 7, if they even get that far. Game 4 is Friday night, so maybe hockey might be done by the end of this week. I mean, wrestling's all year, of course, along with MMA and all that. But with football now returning, you know, those for myself at least, somewhat get put on the back burner. As my flashback college football Penn State live reactions have now officially been put on the back burner because of Big Ten football return. As mentioned last week, was planning on starting those a few weeks back, beginning of September. There's a few factors that led into the delay until it was a new tentative start date at the beginning of October, with wrestling. Finding a few new games that I didn't think I'd have, and then the decision of the Big Ten, waiting to hear what they'd have to say, and now they're going to return. So it looks like we won't be starting those until at least now, February, March, after the college and NFL regular seasons and the playoffs are officially done over with once the season as a whole is done. And then that'll lead into the summer of next year. So. And maybe from now until then I find even a few more games that I didn't think I'd get. But just keep an eye out on social media for updates, and subscribe right here on YouTube if you haven't done so already. But nonetheless, stuff that, of course, that was paused, that has since returned, going to be ending. Football, for the time being, going to roll on. Once again, second consecutive week, 0 positive tests in the NFL, and that's from players, coaches, all the personnel. 0 positives with the COVID-19 test, which is a good thing. So we'll have football from now until, looks like, February the 7th, Super Bowl 55 in Tampa. And may the best 2 teams, get there, of course. We'll have to see what happens with the XFL, if there's going to be a relaunch of that. But who knows? I mean, The Rock's in charge of all that now. So 24-14 Packers extend their lead against the visiting Lions. Back in the second half here as well with the Rams and Eagles. Broncos Steelers about to kick off here in the third quarter too. So just, another great time to be alive, especially if you're a sports fan, with everything that's currently going on. But lightning?
Those poor fans, they just want to watch the team play, Greg.
Oh, okay. Lightning in Miami. I was going to say lightning in Pittsburgh. It's sunny and 75 out. Maybe a little colder than that, which is a good thing. But, lightning in Miami, so a delay with Bills and Dolphins. Pittsburgh, kickoff return. Brandon McManus going to bring down Ray McLeod around midfield. Or else, they very well could have had a kickoff return now for a touchdown.
He's kind of frustrated because there were so many few penalties around the NFL last week defensively. He liked the way they got after it, said keep bringing it, talking about the pressure. When you sit there and
keep bringing pressure.
He said we got to run offensively the plays that Driscoll knows the best, and the defense can just make plays. He said there's plays to be
So
made.
Denver, they just want their defense to make plays. They're going to run plays that Jeff Driscoll knows. So, of course, he doesn't know the playbook that well, it looks like. 1st and 10. Ben going to hand off. James Conner again. Really haven't seen Benny Snell a whole lot. They said they're going to split carries. That really hasn't happened. Pittsburgh trying to end the drought of losing to the Broncos. As mentioned, 7 of the last 10 have gone to Denver, dating back to 2003, including 4 of the last 5, along with a few playoff games. So this should be a breeze in the second half, you would think. Just run the football, run the clock. Ben gonna chuck it, dump it off to James Conner. He's going to lower his shoulder, pick up a first down, gain of 9. So, the line of defense, you have a 14-point lead, and they can't do anything on offense. So, this game's, I mean, I get we're just starting the second half, but this game's more so than over than not. The Eagles trying to take their first lead of the afternoon. First and 10 from the 34. A few yard run for Miles Sanders, who's from Pittsburgh, played at Penn State, now in Philly with the Eagles. And Conner going to be stuffed. About a 2-yard loss for him. Second down and 12. Carolina on the board, 21-6. We'll have some final stats and scores from around the league with these 1 o'clock games once this game wraps up as well, so stay tuned for those. But, yeah, once again, a lot going on, so just be sure to tune back in next weekend for more live reactions play, including tomorrow night. Vegas Raiders debut against the Saints. James Washington in motion. Ben pump fakes, screen pass, complete. And Benny Snell going to lose a few yards of his own as well. Third down and about 17. Third and Austin, 16 officially, 12:20 to play here in the third.
When you're struggling a little bit offensively, it takes a big play in the kicking game, right? A block kick or a big play on defense. And so this Denver defense need to go up the
From the 48, Ben looking to throw, pump fakes, get rid of it. Gonna be picked off at the 30. Justin Simmons out past midfield. He's got some blockers. And he's going to run out of bounds inside the 25-yard line, it looked like. Flag on the play, though. This could come back. Ben had all the time in the world to throw that ball. Lobbed it up, and it was picked off. So, I mean, going back to the offensive line for the Steelers, it's not bad. That's on Ben, for sure. And Ben took a hit. Illegal block in the back against the Broncos. 10 yards. And I don't think this ref's ever officiated a game before, this white capper. But Ben with the INT, so both quarterbacks with a few picks now. Just tuck it and run. Hell, he had Vance McDonald in the flat far side. And he lobbed it up to Juju at the first down marker. Right at the... Jeez. So the Steelers, 59 consecutive games with a sack. They now have had 25 consecutive games with at least a turnover. One turnover, that is. First and 10 from the 41. Gordon, Ramsey for 3 yards. He's their only offense right now. Melvin Gordon. Weird seeing him in a Bronco uni. He's been a Charger his whole career. That, of course, didn't work out. So now, second down and 8. Play, oh my God. Nick Van at the tight end. He fell down. The play was busted from the get-go. Fake the give. Melvin Gordon decided to block rather than take the football. And then Van Nant fell down as Driscoll was throwing to his tight end and ball falls incomplete. Denver's just, like I said, they can run the ball a little bit. They've been able to, at least. And they've had a few good passes, just like that one there. That goes for another first down. KJ Hamler stepping up. this afternoon. And other than that, though, they just seem so unorganized. They seem just... I mean, I get with a backup quarterback, you weren't expecting that, and you got to do what you got to do, but depending on how long Drew Lock's going to be out for, Denver might be in an uphill battle. I mean, they're already in the division with the Chiefs and Raiders that are going to make some noise this year, so especially Kansas City coming off of that Super Bowl win. But, and now Cortland Sutton injured. So Denver can't catch a break.
It's bad enough if you're Pat Shermer, lose your starting quarterback, but then you don't have one of your running backs in Lindsey,
and they haven't gone to their tight ends.
Hard to call plays.
Yeah, there's nothing that you can do. Especially on the road, you know. Gordon for 3 yards, 3rd down. Under 10 to play here in the 3rd down, Broncos.
Eventually arriving in mid-September. He's averaged fewer than 4 yards per carry in 4 of his 5 seasons. From him. First down here.
Trips near side. Pittsburgh might have jumped offside. Pass complete. Noah Fant. They finally go to their tight end. And he picks up a first down. Flag comes in late. This will probably be for a late hit.
Players are most productive players. I really like Fant.
And we have a marker down.
First round pick from a year ago. You find a way to get him the ball in the middle of the field. There's some favorable matchups. You're going to get a tackle from Minka Fitzpatrick grabbing the horse collar.
Personal foul.
Excuse me. Personal foul on illegal horse collar tackle. Defense number 39.
Yeah, that wasn't a face mask. That was a horse collar. Be half the distance, automatic first down. Yeah, I don't think this ref's officiated the game. He's been so off.
This is definitely 4-down territory. I mean, if you're the Broncos, you cannot settle for a field goal in this position.
I mean, if Denver scores the 7-point ball game, then Pittsburgh might want to think about actually doing something on offense. Driscoll going to go down on the sack back at the 10-yard line. Edmonds and Watt.
First of all, you cannot do that. Driscoll, even though he hasn't had the reps, Greg, he has to know better as a better quarterback. Throw the football away on first down.
TJ Watt, Terrell Edmonds.
You've got a wide open receiver in the corner of the end zone. I don't think he ever feels handled in the back of the end zone.
Jets continue to trail the Niners. Bucks lead the Panthers. You don't know how bad the Jets are. They gave up a pass over the middle, incomplete, intended for Fant. Once again, back of the end zone, 3rd down and goal. The Jets gave up a 3rd and 31 to the Niners that went for 50 plus. Jaguars coming back, only down 7 on the road against the Titans, 24-17. Bills 17-10 over the Dolphins. Cowboys only now down 12, 29-17. 21-16 Rams Eagles. 3rd and goal from the 10 for the Broncos. And pass going to be incomplete, intended for Melvin Gordon. And they're going to have to settle for a field goal. Make the 58-yarder that they missed. It's an 8-point ball game at 17-9. You have a quarter and a half to play. You score, go for 2, tied up. Whole new ball game if you hold. But they're going to try to make it 17-6. And say Driscoll gets hurt, who are they going to have play quarterback? Because I'm sure whoever the third quarterback is not dressed, for one. But then two, I remember this came up with Pittsburgh a few years back, that the emergency quarterback would have been Heath Miller when he was still playing at tight end before he retired. Field goal up and good, 17-6. Maybe, I'd assume Elway's there. Maybe he'll, come out of the box or wherever the hell he's sitting at in his suite, maybe on the sideline, come in and play. Pat Shermer, hell, throw Vic Fangio, head coach, in there and play quarterback for him. Might actually do something, but no. Field goal up and good, 17-6. Steelers on top of the Denver Broncos.
Now everyone, including existing customers, can get a free Samsung Galaxy Note 20 after trade-in.
You don't need a big meeting. You don't need a birthday. You don't need any excuse at all. You just need to love subs. Times 12. So go ahead and cater to your craving. Jersey Mike's. Be a sub above.
That's what my dad does.
Good job, Michael. Okay, Lindsay, now tell the class what your mind is.
My mom has superpowers. It's like she can see the future. What? It's like she time travels in a rocket ship. That's cool. And then she comes back saying, try this or try that. She helps everyone. She helps them feel less worried.
Wow, Mommy, what is it that you do? I'm a financial advisor. AIG proudly supports all the professionals taking care of our financial futures.
This is the super versatile ring stick-up can. It goes indoors, outdoors in the rain. It's got two-way talk.
Hey, Eddie.
Comes in tons of power options and works with ring alarm to start recording if something's going on. Seriously. So start protecting your home with the easy installing indoor-outdoor ring stick-up can. Learn more at ring.com.
Love Jersey Mike's subs? Love them times 12 with our new catering box. Packed full of a dozen individually wrapped subs. They're yours for the sharing. Jersey Mike's. Be a sub above. We welcome you back to Pittsburgh. That's Cortland Sutton.
Another injury for the Denver Broncos as their quarterback, running back, and two top receivers have all either been injured in this game or were rolled out shortly before. But they still have Melvin Gordon. KJ Hamler's stepped up at receiver. They've sort of gone to Noah Fant now at tight end. They're still in it, down 17-6 here midway through the third quarter. If they can find a way to stop Pittsburgh on offense and play better defense than what they have, we might have a ball game here still. So Pittsburgh has to do something now on offense, though.
All you gotta do is look out the hotel room, Greg. Too busy watching the Pirates play the Cardinals last night.
Connor in the backfield with Ben Roethlisberger.
Ben incomplete near side, intended for James Washington. He dropped that. That's on him, incomplete. And we're going to have an update for the first time here in the second half. Jaguars and Titans. And Tennessee with another score, 30-17. And Stephen Gostkowski with another miss the extra point. Jeez. Second and 10 from the 25. Ben on the slant over the middle, complete. Goes for 3 yards. That'll be Deontay Johnson on the reception. Johnson's just okay. We're still gonna keep you in. We're gonna give it to you, and if you do something wrong, okay, but you better make up for it, and he has. But he's got to be more consistent. We got a whistle. We're going to have a false start. Ben talking with the officials. Offside on Denver, actually. Ben, he should have just let that play go. Who would have had a free shot. So offsides, but then at that point they probably would have said false start. Bradley Chubb, quiet afternoon for him. He hasn't done a whole lot on defense, surprisingly. He needs to step up in absence of Von Miller. 3rd and 3 now after the offside. Steeler ball.
That's good news for the Steelers, right? We don't talk much about them.
They're really good. They don't want their names called.
Yeah, their offensive line, even with the injuries, surprisingly has played well. Jalen Samuels in the ball game. I mean, I get Ben's taking a sack or two, and Samuels over the middle complete. He's that scat back Swiss Army knife type of player. Picks up the first down for 4. And they also drafted Anthony McFarland out of Maryland, who we have yet to see. So, I mean, it's by committee, as it is anymore, all over the place. Surprisingly, though, they really haven't split the carries as they said they're going to today with Connor and Snell. But still, play the hot hand. Connor's played better than last week, but still, I'd like to see consistency there, too. I mean, you say you're going to do something, do it. But don't give too much away, of course, moving forward. Because the more reps, the better players you're going to get. Pass complete near side, Deontay Johnson, first down Steelers. He's more of the 2 taking over for James Washington, and then you insert Chase Claypool. So you have Juju, Deontay Johnson out of Toledo, Chase Claypool and James Washington as your wideouts, and then Ebron and McDonald as your tight ends, and Washington on the reception once again. That goes for about 10. We'll see where they mark it at. He might be about a half yard shy. But go to tight ends more, just continue to run the football, do what you're doing. I mean, everything's, so far at least, been good the first 2 weeks. So, I mean, yeah, I get over time, over the course of the season, everybody's going to have a, dry spot, and, they'll have a few games where they're not playing well, and they'll lose a few that they probably shouldn't as usual, but that's how it goes. Deontay Johnson once again on the bubble screen, far side, get about a yard, I'd say. They say he got 2, 2nd and 8. They've thrown a lot on first down today. Randy Fiechner, the OC, opened up the playbook. Empty set, 5 wide for the Steelers, the 41. Up 17-6 at 2nd and 8. Pass near side, complete to 35. Juju going to be once again for the 3rd time this afternoon, about 2 yards shy of a first down. He gets about 8 to 10 yards per reception. But no deep ball for him, no touchdowns for Juju this afternoon as of yet. Claypool with that 84-yard reception, but we'll see what they do here. 3rd and 2, ball 35. Another empty 5 wide. Quick pass, complete. Juju, he's not going to get anything. Stuffed. We'll see if they bring Boswell out to make it a 2-possession ball game at 20-6 for a field goal. I mean, I'd take the points. I get it's going to be about a 53, 54-yard field goal from the 35. But they might go for it here. We'll see. Maybe try to draw them off. Everybody's favorite number, 4:20 to play in the 3rd. Yeah, he's just going to try to draw them off. Stay there. Under center now's Ben. Just don't move. Don't false start. Nope. Nope. Timeout. Denver said they moved. So false start, no. Delay game or timeout? Timeout. Okay, so they can still kick the field goal here. I get if they, also took delay game back up Colquitt to pin them deep and punt. still, even with an 11-point lead, you should be good off. But you want to attempt a 53-yarder and, you know, extend it to 13. Okay, so be it. Be better. Take your points. Now that timeout comes back, they're going to stay on the field and go for it. Wow. Ben's probably going to pooch punt. We're going to have a pooch punt by Big Ben Roethlisberger. He's in the gun, 3 wide. It's 4th and 2. Now he's going to throw it. Pump fakes, steps up, has a man, and that's no penalty, no hold. That's probably a good no call. Honestly, that's probably a good no call. He overthrew him a little bit. Ebron was being held, but I don't know if I like that with what just happened there. It was a good no call by the official. It wasn't a clear-cut hold or a pass interference by any means. So, you know, if it's not, don't throw the penalty. If it is, throw the flag. But, I mean, he had a little daylight. He could have tucked it and ran. And he was getting pressured. It would have been about a 53, 54-yard field goal. I don't get why they didn't kick it. I mean, I get McManus missed in that direction from earlier at 58, but it's not like Boswell doesn't have that good of a leg either, you know? Or, like I said, pooch punt it. Pooch punt it and, you know, pin them deep that way. Or even take the... Because they called a timeout and they go for it then. Or just take the delay game, back them up 5 yards, back yourselves up 5 yards, more like it, and, you know, punt them. But just hopefully the defense can hold, because Denver here in the second half offense, they have looked a little better. Not by much, but, you know, every bit does help. So we'll see what happens. I mean, 11 points, still 2 possessions. They're going to have to score, go for 2, and kick a field goal to tie it up if it's going to how it's going to be. So, I mean, it's not like I don't believe in the defense. I mean, defense played extremely well so far this year, both games. Just continue to play good defense and, you know, bring the pressure. Just keep going after them. And Driscoll, backup quarterback, and you know, hope for the best, really. I mean, maybe another turnover, maybe just get stopped. Stop them. But if you do give up a touchdown or whatever, at that point, the offense definitely needs to do something in order to have a little more leeway, a little more breathing room at the end of the ball game to hang on and win this, rather than blowing a late lead and, you know, giving Denver their first win of the year. Melvin Gordon on the carry, no gain, 2nd down and 10. Almost the end of the 3rd quarter here.
Big runs going after those first couple that he ripped off in the first quarter. Or just 55 yards rushing on 14 carries.
KJ Hamler stepping up and making plays today for the Denver Bronco offense. And keeping this Bronco team in it for the time being. 3rd and 1. Pass incomplete. 10 for Jerry Jeudy, who's now back in the ball game. Minka Fitzpatrick on the coverage. Flag comes in. They'll probably get him on a defensive hold or PI. Pass interference. 39 defense. That's Minka, who they got around this time last year from Miami. And that trade worked out because they still got Josh Dobbs back after signing him. And yeah, that's pass interference. That's PI. Costly, you know, the one turnover, yeah, that was Ben's fault, but costly penalties, even though if they make a stop late, still hurting to an extent here this afternoon. Royce Freeman up the gut for 4, second down. Yeah, Denver's still in this. Don't get me wrong by any means. I'm not going to be shocked if they, you know, try to find a way to come back here, as the Giants are doing against the Bears, only down 7 now, 17-10. Trip stop of your screen. 2nd and 6. And Royce Freeman going to pick up the first down at the 35-yard line. Under 2 to play in the third.
Somebody has to set the edge. You watch this run, he's going to start inside. He winds it all the way backside. Somebody's got to be responsible for the outside leverage there. Good cut, good vision by Ross Freeman. Good combination. The good receivers have no problem working between the numbers.
After the incompletion, 2nd and 10. Pittsburgh continuing to bring that pressure. And they have somebody there to block them now. Driscoll going to be incomplete again, intended for Vanette. And Sutton on the coverage. Now another flag. Personal foul. Roughing the passer. Jesus Christ. Once again, costly, yeah. Not arguing with that. Costly penalties, free yardage. But I still don't think this zebra, this ref, has ever officiated a game before. I doubt it. From the 20, 1st and 10. Driscoll complete, Noah Fant, touchdown Broncos. And with a minute and a half to play here in the third quarter, Denver right back in it. They'll go for 2. At least they should. Make it a 3-point ball game. And Pittsburgh playing it safe. Not really doing a whole lot on offense, giving up stuff now on defense. Get with it. Do what they did in the second and early third quarter here. And, I mean, just holding on to a 5-point, potentially 3-point lead. They're going to have to score some more points here. 2-point, good. Noah Fant again, so now 17-14. Broncos cut it to 3 here late in the third. And, I mean, Driscoll not playing bad now. It seems like the roles are starting to reverse. The tides are turning. As Denver is gaining momentum. Pittsburgh, on the other hand, not so much. And you got to get back to running the football. You run the ball, James Conner. You put Benny Snell in there. You run the football. Have Ben make a play or two, you know, when needed. You know, open up the play action. And, you know, hope for the best. And hopefully it turns out. And hopefully they can drive and, I mean, that field goal that they went for, you know, that's coming back now, you know, because it could be 20-14. Or Denver would have just kicked the extra point there to make it a 7-point ball game. And then if they do something on this upcoming drive, whether it be a field goal or a touchdown, you know, it's getting a little out of reach then for the Broncos. So that might come back into play, deciding to go for it rather than kick the field goal from 53 out. Which I get, you know, it was 4th and 2, but still, when the defense then not playing as good, giving up, you know, penalties left and right, you know, with pass interferences and late hits, that is unacceptable. We can't be doing that. We'll see what happens. Just run the ball. Take as much, especially when you're home. We'll see if they play Renegade or not. No fans there. Drain the clock. Run this clock, you know, down to as far as you can. You know, nice 8-minute drive would be nice. Take up about half the quarter coming up here in the 4th. And have it end in points. You know, field goal, I'm not going to mind. I'd like a touchdown, of course, you know, to make it a 10-point ball game, because if you make it a field goal, you're up 6. And that's what I'm saying. The last drive, they decided to go for it rather than field goal then, because you potentially be up more now, but obviously not, because it didn't happen. But, you know, you'd have to rely on your defense more late if you only can settle for a field goal and you're up 6 then at that point rather than a touchdown. So kudos to Denver. I mean, they're getting back into their defense is playing better too. You know, if we're going to have a touchback on the kickoff here. It's a Steeler ball, 1st and 10 at the 25. Officially 1:07 to play in the 3rd quarter. 3.17-14 lead once again. So kudos to them. You know, they're finding, you know, ways to move the ball, and if they can stop Pittsburgh here and then potentially have a good drive of their own on offense coming up next, take the lead, then Pittsburgh's going to be in a situation blowing a lead, having to come back late, and you don't want that. So just run the football, get Connor and Snell involved in the passing game as well. Ben over the middle, complete the 43. Eric Ebron again. You got to get the tight end too. His 2nd catch. 1st and 10. He's gone to him about 5 times, if I'm not mistaken. 2 catches now. One was that last play on offense. Nope. Good call on the no PI hold on defense, and then he dropped the ball earlier in the 1st half too. Just run this clock. Run the ball. Benny Snell up the gut at 50. That'll probably do it for the 3rd quarter. 17-14 Steelers. But hopefully they can hold on here and pick up the win. That'll do it for the 3rd quarter. They're going to walk off the sideline. So 15 to play. It's 17-14. Steelers on top of the visiting Denver Broncos. 2nd and 7 to come. And this is going to be a very interesting final 15 minutes of play. This final quarter coming up. Because if Pittsburgh, I mean, those 2 plays there were all right. Pick up a 1st down and then a 3-yard gain, so 2nd and 7. They can continue that, you know, move the ball, drive, take up as much time as they possibly can, score. Okay, we're good, fine. But if Denver can find a way to stop them, even if they drive and kick the field goal, tie it up, you know, sniff overtime, you know, smelling some extra time this afternoon. I don't want that. I honestly don't. I don't think anybody does. Especially with the situation that they had. It was 17-3. And now they've given up 11 unanswered. And if they can hold them again, who knows what's going to happen. So, Rams still in Philly, of course. This game's still going on. They still lead. They've added a field goal, so 24-16. So we have a touchdown ball game there. I mean, if Philly finds a way to stop them here, as the Rams had the ball, first 10 to 25. You know, drive and score, go for two, get it, tie ball game. So some games late now coming down to the wire, and should be interesting to see how these finish out. Rams with a huge run out past midfield. Fumble. They can say he was down. He's down. Ground can't call the fumble. He's down. He's down. Yeah, then the ball got popped out, jarred loose. And it's a first and 10 Rams after an injury. But nonetheless, hopefully the Steelers here can get something going.
Welcome back to Heinz Field in Pittsburgh as we start the fourth quarter. 3-point lead for the Steelers. Ben Roethlisberger, 57,023 yards passing for his career. That ties him with Eli Manning for number 7 on the all-time list.
It's first and 10, but it says first and 1, which I don't think that can ever happen. Now it's first and 10. It was second and 7, remember? Yeah, but they said it was first and 1. But complete far side, that was McDonald, if I'm not mistaken, on reception. And now Ben passing Eli Manning once again for career passing yards, 7th all time. So he's 7th all time in passing yards in NFL history, 8th all time in passing touchdowns in NFL history. Bubble screen near side, complete. Chase Claypool, he's going to lose about 4 yards. It'll be second down and long as we begin the fourth quarter. You had Eli, you had Phillip, you had Ben. And Ben was the only Steeler that was drafted. At quarterback, you had J.P. Lozman as well. But Eli was drafted by the Chargers. Rivers was drafted by the Giants, and then they worked out a trade. Because Eli said he wasn't playing against his brother Peyton Manning in the Indianapolis Colts every year. Juju with the reception. It's going to be third down. See what they gave him on the gain. It was 3rd and 14. Deflected. Bounced off a defender. And then Juju somehow comes down with it. His own little immaculate reception in 2020. 3rd and 9 officially from the 42. 3 wide out of the gun. Ben. Monday, yeah, that's tomorrow. Everybody dreading. Start of the week. Ben over the middle. It's caught. Ebron again. He's going to pick up about 2 yards shy of the first down. We'll see what they do. Another 4th and 2. Do they go for it or do they kick it? Minshew mania. Is Minshew magic? And the Jags are coming back against the Titans. Tied at 30. Jags are seeking their first win at Tennessee since 2013. Holy hell. 4th and 2, they're going to go for it again. A little pass over the middle. Wasn't a shuffle. It was actually a pass from Ben complete to Juju, who was coming in motion over the middle, and blocking went near side to the right. Gap opened in the middle. I mean, that's your typical, quick shuffle that Ben's done before, and they pick up the first down. So the drive will, in fact, continue. Now, work the clock as much as you possibly can. Run the football and, get out of Dodge with a win here. Hopefully 12 and change to play. Hand off, Connor. Follow your blockers. Changes direction a little bit. Picks up about 4 yards, second down. And now today, Connors ran the ball better than he did last week. Better than Benny Snell because they really haven't ran with him tonight compared to Monday night. And now the Rams tacking on to their lead, scoring a touchdown again. Higbee for like the 10th time today. So if you had him in any fantasy football aspect, well, I'm sure he's doing pretty well for you right now. Or if not, waiver claim him, and you know, he'll be all right for you probably the rest of the year. Probably won't score as many touchdowns the remaining 14 games as he's done today by any means, but yeah, the Rams gonna start off 2-0 here. It looks like with a win over the Eagles, extending their lead. Jags, Titans coming down to the wire. That's a good tie ball game at 30 apiece. Credit to Jacksonville. They might even start out 2-0 for God's sakes. Like, come on, who would have thought that? But
Food for thought. Let's put the Hokies in our team.
Verizon knows how to build unlimited right. Start with America's most awarded network.
I'm on my phone.
Tennessee just hanging on in both their games. You know, the Denver, I mean, Pittsburgh's doing the same today too. You know, maybe that's just the Broncos. You know, playing well late, just hanging on. You know, trying to get back into it, and then the other teams that they're playing are just trying to do the same so they can win.
Burger King asks people to describe the Whopper by heart.
But
Pickles, tomatoes, onions.
Pittsburgh's got to do something here. They got to score.
And that's why we love colors,
And a field goal's not going to cut it now. You have to score a touchdown.
your way, way better.
Especially with how good this drive's been. Yeah, you got to score. But nonetheless, everything going to be coming back soon, getting back to normal, hopefully. A few shows, Survivor on my end, not coming back anytime soon, though, because of filming. Stuff's sort of getting back to normal. Jay Feely drops his phone. He's running around the stadium.
That is our Jay Feely changing sides of the field and doing it the
And
he's
he's now on the Bronco sideline. He may be questionable to return. 2nd and 6 from the 28. Ben stepping up. Gonna keep it and run. No. Airs it out in the end zone. Caught. Touchdown. Deontay Johnson. 23-14 Steelers. He's gonna keep the ball. Yeah. Nice rollout. Gonna think about keeping it and run. But then Johnson gets open in the end zone. Ben finds him. Sort of came back behind the defender. Johnson had to adjust to make the catch, and he comes down with it for 6. Ben with 2 touchdowns now. One to Chase Claypool, one to Deontay Johnson. And the interception today as well. I didn't have that last week. I got 3 touchdowns, but Boswell extra point up and good. Same amount of yardage about. Completion and attempts about the same. We'll get final stats, but the Steelers celebrate. Juju Smith-Schuster jumps into the crowd, acting as a fan, and then Deontay Johnson gives him the football as they hug it out. As everybody is adjusting to no fans in attendance. Eagles. Miles Sanders again on the carry. Ball at the 35-yard line. We'll see if we get any bonus coverage with some of these late games, or some of these early games coming down to the wire before these late 425 games kick off. Check in on some scores right now. It's 30-30 with Jacksonville and Tennessee. Atlanta was beating Dallas last I saw. along with Buffalo or Miami. But
It was great. I let the computer pick the players. I just had to open a Corona.
Oh, you obviously know
we'll see
nothing about
here.
football. But you do know how to win the draft party.
So we got cooking in the NFL this afternoon.
I mean, yeah, we don't have freezers, we don't have microwaves, and we always have fresh stuff coming in. I mean, this is the best box that you can get.
Fresh is
That's
what you
weird,
stand
not
for.
loading.
Definitely.
My name's Richard Jewell, and I'm not the Olympic pork bomber. The guy who did it, he's still out there. Gather your strength. Find a way to help those who need you. Like people, we're biologically determined to sense the coming of death. I sense it coming now.
Star Trek Discovery Season 1 special presentation beginning Thursday at 10, 9 Central on CBS. All seasons now streaming.
We'll have to hold off and wait on that. I don't know why that's not loading.
We're here for Thursday. We're here for
It was working perfectly fine just a minute ago there during halftime. Now, nothing. Dolphins, Jags Thursday night. That might not actually be a bad game now. Here we go. With the way both these teams are playing today. Especially Jacksonville's 2-0 at home, hosting the Dolphins, who might be 0-2 or 1-1, depending how the Buffalo game finishes out. Steelers kick off up 10 now. And Denver going to return this about 5 yards deep. Should've took a knee, buddy. And Pittsburgh on the stop and around the 12-yard line. Bears lead the Giants 17-13. Falcons lead the Cowboys 36-24. Packers 34-21 over the Lions. Tied at 30 with the Jags and Titans 28-3. Colts lead the Vikings. Bills 17-13 over the Dolphins. 31-6 49ers over the Jets. 31-19 Rams over the Eagles. 21-14 Panthers trail the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Bonus coverage for CBS once this game wraps up. Hopefully it's Jacksonville, Tennessee. It might be Buffalo, Miami. And then for Fox, they could probably go
I asked him about getting Ben Roethlisberger. I mean, you talk to so many offensive players, offensive staff members. And he said,
maybe Carolina, Tampa.
allows us to defense.
Maybe, we'll see. I mean, this game has 11 minutes left. All these other games have less than that, so those games might finish up before this. Just like last week, too. So, 2nd and 10, and a screen near side going to be brought down the backfield for a loss of 2. Fitzwilliams on the stop.
Rich, and if you remember Ben Roethlisberger, he told us one of the main reasons he came back this year was because of that defense.
Yeah, Ben came back for his teammates. He knew how good this team was. And going down with an injury, you got to come back. You can't go out like that. You got to continue that trek to 7. Third and 11 from the 11. Pittsburgh bringing pressure complete over the middle. Noah Fant. About a yard on the pickup. We'll see if they go for it. I would think so. They're down 10, but they are also back around the 10-yard line. So they go for it, don't get it. Pittsburgh, a couple plays, they're in the end zone. So Denver going to punt with 10-12 to play. Trouble with the snap and a safety. Actually, yeah. Okay, he's down. That's a safety. 26-14. What the hell happened there? For the brand, Pat McAfee. What the hell happened? Trouble with the snap. He just completely dropped it and picked it up, and then Pittsburgh's there. Brought down in the end zone for a safety. Then the ball comes out, goes through the back of the end zone, so it would have been a safety regardless. Unless they would have looked at it, said he fumbled before he was technically down in the end zone, and then Pittsburgh recovered in the end zone. That'd be a touchdown then at that point. But a safety, the Steelers are regardless getting the ball back here. They just added 2 more points. with that safety because they're going to punt. Pittsburgh getting the ball back. Now with the safety, they have a total of 6 sacks, 2 turnovers, and the safety. Denver's going to have to come out and punt anyway. And Pittsburgh's going to get the ball back. So 26-14, and this game now seems to be over with the Steelers now having a 12-point lead with 10:01 officially to play. Because really, they'll get the ball back. If they were smart, they just run the ball. And honestly, if they can score again, or even if they feel necessary to do so now, which Ben's coming back out, but maybe just have one of the backups come in, whether it be Rudolph or Josh Dobbs or the Duck, and just run the football and close it out. Deontay Johnson, another good punt return. Doesn't go for a touchdown and get called back by any means, but he's just all over the place. He needs to concentrate and be more consistent than anything else, but he's still playing well, so we'll take it.
With Patrick Mahomes and Lamar Jackson, Deshaun Watson. There's a lot of talented young signal callers.
Just run the ball. Please just run the football. Juju in motion. Ben going to hand off. Benny Snell. He fumbles the football. Oh my God. And Denver's going to get it right back. Jesus Christ. That's another thing. Hold on to the damn ball. They're lucky they have a 12-point lead. Because if not, and this game was, tied or closer than what it is, because just up until, 10, 15 minutes ago in real time, maybe a little longer or shorter, game time, a few minutes, Pittsburgh doesn't do something, Denver, still in it. I mean, they still are. I mean, it's still only a 2-possession game. And they got time. They got timeouts. Just still costly mistakes that you would think a team that has now averaged 26 points per game this season. 26 in back-to-back games on the dot. They won 26-16, so now same final score. Denver's going to need a safety, but that's not going to happen by any means anytime soon because Pittsburgh's not on offense now because they just fumbled. I mean, they're still covering right now. It's a 7-point spread. So obviously that direction, if this holds, you'll be good off, but still, you would think a team that has played well, not great, but not terribly bad either, and better than good, better than average, with how most of these other teams have played so far this year. They wouldn't be doing the stupid little things that they've been doing. So they're still lucky, in my opinion, to be in the situation up 12. Time not on Denver's side by any means, but they still have time, and they still have their 3 timeouts with 10 minutes to play here and only down 12. So they need 2 touchdowns to come back and win it. As we see some old highlights from Denver defeating the Steelers right next door at Old Three Rivers, and then Pittsburgh defeating Denver out in Mile High to get the Super Bowl as well before both teams eventually won those respective Super Bowls. a deep rivalry with these two teams for sure, and especially as of late, as mentioned, 7-10 for the last 5 for the Broncos, including some playoff games back to 0-3. Elway in attendance up in his booth. He knows they're still in this. They got a penalty, a hold on Denver, so they'll replay first down, 1st and 20. But for myself personally, I mean, the last few times these teams have met, I've had some very odd, weird things happen in the game, and then you know they've split. It seems like as when they went to Denver in 18, they lost. Playoffs after the 15 season, they lost because Peyton won his final Super Bowl. But that regular season, last time Denver was in Pittsburgh, the Steelers won in December, right before Christmas. Pass incomplete. Another flag. Jesus Christ. And they're going to get Devin Bush on a hold, on a defensive hold or a defensive pass interference, it looks like. Pass interference, defense. And, I mean, really this week, normally I'd be saying, you know, the officiating's all over the place. It's not consistent by any means. And they're throwing every little flag. Today, not the case. I mean, 95% of these fouls have been clear, and they've thrown the flags, and they've called it. So it is what it is. I mean, I'm not bashing the refs by any means because, you know, like I just said, I mean, Pittsburgh just giving up 3 yards. Even with a 12-point lead, still lucky to be in this game. Driscoll keeps it a few yards for him, 2nd and 7. So, but just league-wide with fouls last week, especially. If it's a penalty, call it. If it's not, don't. Plain and simple. Like if it was, you know, consistent. If there's consistency with the officiating, I don't think anybody would be complaining. 2nd and 7, Driscoll over the middle is incomplete. And 10 for Deshaun Hamilton out of Penn State as well. If Deshaun Hamilton, KJ Hamler, who's really stepped up today, in absence of Cortland Sutton and Jared Jeudy, who both went out with injuries. Jeudy has returned, but they really haven't gone through him since. And, I mean, Denver even losing Drew Lock today, and not since their first or second drive, you know, running the ball with Melvin Gordon. Driscoll hasn't played bad. I mean, Pittsburgh might have jumped off sides there. Okay, they're going to let it play. 3rd and 7. Pass over the middle, complete. That's Tim Patrick to the 16-yard line. 1st and 10, Broncos. The Steeler defense has brought pressure. They've sacked him a few times. He has an interception, but for some reason they're still able to drive. And they're knocking on the door again, trying to get back into this ballgame. And there's still enough time for them to score 2 touchdowns. One coming right now. A wheel route, far sideline, in the end zone, caught, touchdown, Broncos. Jeff Driscoll from 16 yards out to Melvin Gordon for the receiving touchdown. Now 26-20. Steelers on top of the Broncos as Denver cuts the lead to 6, pending the extra point to make it a 5-point game. So honestly, moving forward for Denver, if Locke's going to be out, and the way Driscoll's played in the second half, you know, them not knowing this game's over until it's over with, they might not be bad off, honestly. But playoffs, you want to talk about playoffs? teams that start out 0-2 only have a 12% shot at making the playoffs. So 1-1, it's average. You know, you'll get there more than likely. Because it's a very, very long season. It's still early. It's only week 2. And we still got more games to come tonight and tomorrow. But, yeah, Denver late. They haven't been able to finish. But now they're on the opposite end of that. They're trying to come back. Because they blew a lead last week. And honestly, that should have been a bigger defeat by Tennessee over Denver on the road on Monday night in the nightcap. But because of the missed kicks, it was only a 2-point win. So, onside kick. Pittsburgh only has 2 timeouts. That one that they called on the 4th and 2 that they went for it. Didn't get it. Should have kicked it and come back and hurt them. We'll see. Still 7:43 to play. Pittsburgh, once they get the ball back here, hopefully no onside kick recovery by Denver if they go that route. I think they'd kick it deep. They still got 3 timeouts. Still 2-minute warning. You know, there's enough time to play defense and stop them, hope to get the ball back and score and win. Now's the time to hear "Oh Mama" and, you know, renegade. But obviously no fans. Colts pick up the win over the Vikings. Giants in Chicago. That game under a minute to play. But they have to find the run game. The Pittsburgh Steelers have to find the run game here. They have to be able to run the ball when they need to, like they did last week. Today, not so much. Now's their time to shine. They have to run the ball in these final 7 minutes and 40 seconds. Whether it's James Conner, whether it's Benny Snell. Getty fumbled on the last drive, and that's what led to the Denver points. So they're even in that category. They both capitalize off turnovers. They haven't gone on tight ends as much. Eric Ebron has a few more catches in the second half. But go to McDonald. Go to, you know, your trio at wide receiver. Deontay Johnson has to have over 100 yards receiving now. Picks up another first down for 12. But don't snap the football until there's 3 seconds on the play clock. Make Denver call their timeouts. Make them stop you. Don't stop yourself. Ben now over 300 yards passing. Johnson about 10 yards shy of 100. Blue 20. So from the 37, complete. McDonald, he's going to break a tackle and lower his shoulder for 3. Clock's going to continue to wind. Under 7 to play. Second down.
Clock continues to move. 6:50 to play. Here in the 4th.
You're thinking about a long drive to put a 10 or 12 play drive together and eat up some of that clock. Think at the back of your mind, you get a touchdown here, you got it. You got it.
23 completions, or rather 29 completions for Roethlisberger today.
Ben going to be batted down at the line of scrimmage, incomplete. 3rd down and 7. Darrell Casey, former Titan, now in Denver. Unfortunately, unable, due to copyright, unable to show today's game, the broadcast, but thank you for tuning in and watching my live reactions. Play-by-play. Like, follow, and subscribe if you haven't done so already on social media. Links in the description below. The thumbs up button. Share hashtag NFL. Chat questions and comments. Super chats, super stickers. Always greatly appreciated. 3rd and 7. Be sure to tune back in tomorrow night as well. Monday Night Football, Saints, Raiders from Vegas. Ball at the 40. Ben looking to throw over the middle. It's caught, dropped, midfield, incomplete. And the Broncos are going to get the ball back. Down 5 with 6:15 to play in all 3 timeouts. The Steeler defense needs to step up right now. Johnson, the intended target. Another mistake by him, even though he's all over the place. Doing some good things, but then also when needed, not doing as good. Not technically bad things by any means, but and now maybe a roughing or running into the punter. Cole Quick goes down. maybe a good acting job, but a fair catch signal for at the 17-yard line. And it'll be 1st and 10 Broncos from there. Yes, I am still here watching. Do not turn this off. I know I haven't changed the channel, but we go over this all the time. Of course I'm not going to change the channel if I'm watching the game. 49ers win, Colts win, Jags, Titans going to overtime. Packers with a 3-touchdown lead against the Lions. They'll win that. And out of the gun, 1st and 10 from the 18. Driscoll going to hand off Melvin Gordon. We'll see what the Broncos can do here on offense. Falcons still lead by 15. 39-24. No overtime in Nashville. Titans win by 3, 33-30 at the end of regulation. And Denver's overall been better at running the football today than the Steelers have been. Bears going to hold on. They're now 2-0. 17-13 winners over the Giants. Cowboys just scored though. Now only down 9, under 5 to play. The Bills are going to beat the Dolphins, it looks like, along with the Bucs over the Panthers. We'll have final stats and scores coming up shortly, so stay tuned. Second and 8 from the 30. Driscoll dropping back, looking to throw. Near side complete, Tim Patrick. And he's going to lower his shoulder, pick up Bronco 1st down. Gets out of bounds, clock going to stop. So Jacksonville 1-1 now with the loss. They defeated the Colts last week, who won today. So they're also 1-1. Tennessee 2-0. Pittsburgh trying to get to 2-0 with wins over the Giants and Broncos. Titans with a win over Denver as well, along with the Jags. Tampa with Brady trying to get their first win. Jets are now 0-2. Vikings 0-2. Rams are going to go to 2-0. Eagles 0-2. It's 37-19 in Philly. 3rd and 1. Denver quarterback keeper, 1st down. And if they drain this clock, when's Pittsburgh going to start calling their timeouts? And if they score a touchdown late and don't give Pittsburgh any time and win it 28-26, I'm not going to be shocked whatsoever if that's how it turns out. We have 4:18 to play. From the 39, Jeff Driscoll going deep down the far sideline. It's going to be incomplete. Intended for Jerry Jeudy. Good coverage, no flag. 2nd down. 2nd and 10. Rams are going to win. They have 3 minutes to play. And by the looks of it, this is now bonus coverage for one of their games that just wrapped up. So we'll have to see how this ends, and then if we'll get bonus coverage after this. Probably not now. We'll have to wait until Houston hosts Baltimore and the Chiefs on the road against the Chargers at 4:25. Steeler defense, you need to do something here. 3rd and 11. And then does Denver go for it on 4th if they don't get it? I would think so, but you also still have your 3 timeouts left along with 2-minute warning. And you've been playing pretty well on defense, holding Pittsburgh. So, trips near side. Pittsburgh bringing some pressure over the middle. Driscoll incomplete. No flag. That's a little surprising. I thought that was a penalty. I thought that was pass interference. And now the flag comes out. Oh my God. Still. Pass interference on the Steeler defense. I'm not arguing because I thought it was PI or a hold. But the fact of the matter is, the flag came in 10 minutes too late. Yeah, that's yeah. First and 10, Denver down 5. Ball at the 45. 3 minutes and change to play. Driscoll. It's going to be caught. What a catch by Noah Fant. Was he in bounds, though? Okay, at this point, if I'm Pittsburgh, well, you're giving up all these yards. You've been giving up 18 unanswered now in the second half. Yeah, that's a catch. They've gone to Noah Fant a lot now in the second half. Driscoll nearing 300 yards passing, and we got a whistle now. What's this? We got a challenge flag. Tomlin going to challenge the catch. I don't know if he's going to win this. Did he have full control? Did he have possession when he caught it going out of bounds? That's the question. 1, 2, yeah, that's close. And they called it a catch on the field. So they have to find undisputed video evidence to overturn that. I don't think they're going to get that. And this will probably stand. It'll be first and 10 Denver around the 25-yard line. I mean, his toe might have been right there on the white on the sideline, but 1, 2, yeah, that's a catch. But giving up, you know, all this now in the second half, blowing a lead. You still have 2 timeouts. Do you let them score? They go up 28-26. It'll be first and 10 at the 23, it looks like, if this stands, which it should. And then, you know, you get the ball back. You still have the 2-minute warning. But they're challenging, so they don't get this. They're going to have 1 timeout in the 2-minute mark. And just to think, they missed a field goal earlier, too. Denver did, from 58 out. So if they had that, and if Pittsburgh, well, we'll hold off on the second part of this, but it's 26-24 then at that point. Okay? 3 minutes to play. I'm Denver. I'm running the ball. I'm draining this clock. Make Pittsburgh call my timeouts. And, you know, kick game-winning field goal. But it goes back to the 4th and 2 then, too. Pittsburgh called a timeout. They're first here in the second half. They're only going to be down to 1 after the challenge isn't going to go their way. Go for it. After timeout, after trying to draw them off sides, don't get it. Rather than kick a 53-yard field goal. So it could be 29-21. Stanza's call, completion. It's first down Denver. Move on. And Pittsburgh now with 1 timeout remaining. I honestly just don't understand how the hell you can play this good, but then still find a way to lose if they get to that point and lose this ball game. But with all the mistakes that they've had, all the penalties, officiating not going their way, but it's been clear that they've been penalties. It's not like they're getting robbed by any means. And then turnovers. A killer today. Empty set 5 wide, first and 10 from the 23. Driscoll complete 18-yard line, 5 yards. The Deshaun Hamilton, second down. Now under 3. Some of these 425 games kickstarting. The Dolphins take the lead at home against the Bills. They lead with about 9 minutes to play, 20-17. So we might see bonus coverage of that after this game wraps up. 2nd and 5. Hand off Melvin Gordon. It's going to be 3rd down and 2. If I'm Pittsburgh, it looks like they're going to let this clock go down to 2-minute warning. It'll be 3rd and 2 from there. But do you call a timeout here? Make them hike it before the 2-minute mark, stop them, then you have 2 minutes, and then they go for it or kick a field goal. Because they still have all 3 timeouts as well, and they're doing a little bit better here late in the ball game with clock management than what they did last Monday night. Denver Broncos, that is. We're going to get bonus coverage of Atlanta, Dallas on Fox once this Ram-Eagle game wraps up. LA is going to win. Atlanta leading Dallas by 9, 39-30 with about 5 minutes to play, it looks like. But 2-minute mark in the Steel City with the Steelers leading by 5. It's 26-21 if you're just now tuning in. Steelers on the verge of blowing this game as the Denver Broncos have a 3rd down and 2 from inside the 20-yard line.
Honey, did you hear about these new Geico savings?
Rams going to win. Eagles 0-2. They blew lead against the Redskins, the Washington football team, on the road last week. Today they were really not even in it. LA was up 21-3 early in the first half. Really didn't look back. Battle of the top 2 picks in the 16 draft with Jared Goff and Carson Wentz, and Goff and the Rams get the better of the Eagles. And the Rams officially win and start out 2-0. Eagles 0-2, 37-19. Falcons, Cowboys coming up next. And then we'll get 2 minutes to play with Denver and Pittsburgh as well.
The race is never over. The journey has no port. The adventure never ends because we are always on the way.
Is your body's natural way of cooling itself down. Then condensation is a being's natural way of saying, drink me.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by the Home Depot. How doers get more done. And by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Here in Pittsburgh, and this is the situation that you want to be in if you're Jeff Driscoll late.
3rd and 2. Broncos have the ball, down 5, 26-21, 2 minutes to play. They need the 13-yard line. Trips top of your screen, right to left. Driscoll looking to throw, being pressured. It's going to be incomplete. So the clock's going to stop, no penalty. Good coverage by Pittsburgh. Thought it was intercepted there for a second. 4th and 2. You have to go for it. I mean, technically they don't have to. Only down 5. 3 timeouts on their end too. They could kick the field goal here. Give Pittsburgh the ball back. Call your timeouts. And then try to drive and, chuck it or get in field goal range for McManus, who can kick it. And McManus or Driscoll. McManus ain't gonna even have a shot at a field goal here, or if they would have done just that, because Driscoll going down on the sack. See a replay. And Terrell Edmonds unblocked off the edge. Melvin Gordon. Jesus. And Pittsburgh going to luck out right now. Denver still has 3 timeouts. Pittsburgh's still going to wind this clock and run the football. And try to at least pick up the win here. 1:51 to play. Atlanta, Dallas, bonus coverage. James Conner gets 6. Timeout, Denver. But yeah, they could have kicked it there. Give Pittsburgh the ball back, which they just did. Only be down 2. And then potentially get the ball back. Drive, kick a field goal, or you know, score a touchdown and win it. But they go for it. Edmonds off the edge, unblocked. Melvin Gordon just, he wasn't even there. What the hell he was thinking. Driscoll goes down on the sack. Pittsburgh, 1st and 10, 5-yard pickup for Connor, 2nd and 5, timeout Denver. So 1:47 to play. If they can get this to a minute and a half, make Denver call their timeouts, pick up a first down, game's over. 2nd and 5, another handoff, James Conner. Hell, he's going to pick up the first down now, and he's off to the races out past midfield. 35-30, 25-20, get in the end zone, cap off the day. He's going to be brought down at the 10-yard line, so that'll do it. Denver, I don't even think it's going to call their timeouts now. I mean, they might. But a 1st and goal, 10-yard line, and the Steelers, hell, that was, other than the 84-yard touchdown from Ben to Claypool after the punt return got called back, this run here, I mean, to seal the deal, arguably might be the best play of the game. A 60-yard run for James Conner. Hell, that might be his best run of his career, for God's sakes. Denver does call timeout, so a minute and a half to play. And Pittsburgh picks up the first down. So, honestly, they can just take a few kneel downs here. Because Denver can only stop it once. And, you know, once they get under 40 seconds, it's done for. I mean, they can run it again here if they want to. You know, potentially score, extend the lead just to be safe. Connor going to get the carry again. This is going to be a bad beat for some people. With Pittsburgh 7-point favorite right now, and they're going to win by 5. 2nd and goal after a few-yard run, 1:24 to play. Bills take the lead back 24-20. Buffalo over Miami with 5 minutes to play. Now Pittsburgh can take 2 kneel downs because Denver doesn't have any timeouts. And they can hold on and pick up the win. Second and goal from the 6. They're going to run a play. Another handoff, James Conner. He's going to get stuffed. Yeah, do not fumble like they did with Benny Snell 2 drives ago now. 3rd and goal, they can wind this clock to about, we'll say, 39 seconds, 38, 39, 40 seconds, somewhere in there. And then, oh, yeah, they'll just take a knee here. Wait till it gets under 40. Right now, there's your ball game. Steelers are going to hold on, pick up a 5-point, 26-21 win over the Denver Broncos. The Steelers will begin 2-0. Handshakes at midfield with Mike Tomlin and Vic Fangio. And, whew, what a close one. Almost blowing a 17-3 halftime lead. As Denver won the second half, but Big Ben Roethlisberger and the Pittsburgh Steelers pick up the win this afternoon, 26-21, once again. And, I mean, for the most part, they look good. They did. They have to find, and they have to be better late in the ball game. They found a way to win. They held on and won. But moving forward, the way they played in the second half today, it's a 60-minute ball game, not just the first half. Okay, we're up 17-3. We're going to play it safe. You know, we won already. And you know, rightfully so, they sort of did, but didn't. That's not going to cut it all season. Moving forward, they're getting the Texans coming in next Sunday at 1. Have live reactions of that as well, along with WWE Clash of Champions next Sunday night. So be sure to tune back in. Subscribe if you haven't done so already. Bonus coverage, Falcons, Cowboys. Cowboys have the ball down 9. First and goal now at the 5-yard line, it looks like. And we're seeing once again what is a catch, what isn't a catch with the Dallas Cowboys. Was he inbounds? Did he catch that? Yeah. Catch, first and goal, 5-yard line. Now we got a whistle. And we got a challenge flag. So the Falcons are going to challenge, and I mean, hell, they might as well. Why not? I'm not going to be shocked if we get Buffalo, Miami. Bonus coverage on CBS here either. But, yes, I'm still watching on this TV as well. Thank you very much. With the 425 games about to kick off, with Baltimore and Houston, and then Kansas City and LA take on the Chargers in SoFi Stadium, they might just go directly to that, especially with this game wrapping up so late, but we'll see what they do here. But, and we'll have final stats and scores here in a second. Jimmy Garoppolo, he may miss 4 to 6 weeks with an ankle sprain. Nick Bosa likely tore his ACL, some breaking news. Solomon Thomas in the same boat as Bosa, so he also likely tore his ACL. The Giants fear Saquon Barkley also tore his ACL today against the Bears. So more tests for all those players. All these injuries still to come over the next 24, 48 hours or so. And how's that going to affect the rest of the league with all these players going down on all these different teams? But as mentioned before, when you sign up, you know you're going to get hit. You know you're going to get hurt. You know, it's just a matter of when. And if not, okay, yeah, you're one of the lucky ones. But not some good news by any means necessary with those injuries, especially for the Niners. If they lose Garoppolo for, you know, the next month or so, and lose half of their defensive line in the same division as the Cardinals, who beat them last week. Yeah, I get they beat the Jets, but okay. Nick Mullins, I'm sure he did fine in his absence, as Jeff Driscoll did today for Drew Lock in the Denver Broncos. But then now you have the Rams at 2-0, playing well. The Seahawks play tonight on Sunday Night Football, Super Bowl 49 rematch against the Pats. So we'll see how that game shakes out. Monday Night Football tomorrow night, Saints, Raiders from Vegas. I'll have live reactions. Be sure to tune back in. But the Pittsburgh Steelers today, Ben looked extremely well once again for the second consecutive week, returning from injury, had over 300 yards passing. They didn't run the ball as well as what they did last week, but I'll take it. You know, I get, late they had a turnover or two. They really weren't able to do anything, but credit to the Bronco defense for that matter on that end. But when they had to on that last drive, they were able to run the football, and they were able to close it out. Connor with that 60-yard run. And we're going to get Baltimore and Houston now from NRG Stadium in Houston, Texas. So they're going to go right to Ravens-Texans on CBS. And Deshaun Watson and the Texan offense going to get the ball here. So we'll have some bonus extended coverage for the start of this next game here for a little while before we wrap things up here officially. But Falcons, Cowboys, final stats and scores from some of these other games as well. I'll get to that now. If it will be able to load, as it's giving me some trouble there a little bit ago. Here we go. We're good. But with the Steelers, they're able to run the ball late when they had to. The defense, they played well in the first half. They got a little shaky in the second. Weren't able to make as many stops as, of course, everybody would like. But hey, a win's still a win. Whether it's by a point, 5, whether they cover it or not, in the record book, a win is still a win, and the Steelers are 2-0 with 26-21 win over the Denver Broncos. Credit to Denver on offense with Driscoll coming in to play quarterback in Drew Lock's absence with a shoulder injury. He's injured as well. So see what happens with that and all the injuries around the league. Because like I said a few times already today, the injury topic right now is at the height of the league. It has to be the top topic of discussion right now. Other than these games being played, of course, and COVID-19 with, once again, no positive tests from players, coaches, and personnel around the league with all 32 teams. But some of these 425 games are starting off. Cardinals already lead Washington 7-0 midway through the first quarter. Chiefs and Chargers, along with Ravens, Texans, just began, tied at 0. And then the only two games that are still on from 1 o'clock, Atlanta with a 9-point lead over Dallas. Dallas, second and goal, though, from the 1-yard line. Dak Prescott a fade, far corner. Flag comes in. It's going to be defensive pass interference. You can't, get any closer than the 1-yard line to the end zone. It'll be half the distance. They'll put the ball in the same spot. Have it at the inch line. And you have Zeke. Feed him. Pound it in. And even if they score and go for 2, they're still going to be down a point. And there's under 2 minutes to play. They're still going to have to make a stop on defense. Doesn't look like they have any timeouts. So Atlanta still, if they give up a touchdown here, they still might hold on and win. We'll see what Dak Prescott, Cowboy offense, does here now. First and goal once again. And 0-0 with the Chiefs, Chargers, Texans, Ravens game. Incomplete, 10 for CeeDee Lamb, rookie out of Oklahoma. So, yes, as mentioned, the only 1 o'clock game still on, Falcons, Cowboys, and now Bills and Dolphins, 24-20 there, with Buffalo leading with about 3 minutes to play. As that game was delayed a little bit in the second half due to lightning. Dallas gets in, Dak Prescott, quarterback keeper. Looks like there are some fans in attendance in Arlington at AT&T Stadium. So now 39 to 36. And we'll see if they kick it or go for 2. I mean, honestly, I'd probably just kick it, hope to, because if you go for 2, don't get it, and then you hope to get the ball back, you kick it, you tie it, you force overtime. You kick it now, and you do that, you kick a game winner and win it. Dallas, extra point up a good 39-37 with a little over a minute to play. Final scores from the other games this week. As mentioned on Thursday Night Football, the Browns beat the Bengals 35-30. The Bears, they hung on, blew a 13-point lead, but or a 17-point lead, gave up 13 unanswered and won 17-13 over the visiting New York Giants that look to be without Saquon Barkley now for the rest of the season with a ACL tear, which is a little unfortunate for him. Packers 42-21 winners over the Lions. Titans 33-30 over the Jags. That looked to be a good game. Colts 28-11 over the Vikings. Minnesota now 0-2. Along with the Jets, who lost 31-13 over the Niners, but The big story with San Fran is no Jimmy Garoppolo, no Nick Bosa, no Solomon Thomas moving forward for the next few weeks, it looks like. And the Rams and Buccaneers also picked up wins as well. LA 37-19 winners over the Eagles, and then Tampa Bay defeated the Carolina Panthers 31-17. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers with Tom Brady and Rob Gronkowski defeated the visiting Panthers by 2 scores. Sunday Night Football, Panthers and Seahawks, along with Saints Raiders tomorrow night on Monday night. Final stats for Denver and Pittsburgh. We had Drew Lock 1 of 5 for 20 yards, got injured in the first half, did not return. Jeff Driscoll, in his absence, was 18 of 34, 256 yards passing, 2 touchdowns, and an interception. Both teams capitalized off of turnovers today as well, so defenses played well. Special teams was key for a little bit for the Steelers. That punt return for a touchdown like a callback, but then Roethlisberger found Chase Claypool for 84 yards one play later. Overall, I thought the Broncos ran the ball better, even though the stats don't say so, than the Pittsburgh Steelers, because Gordon had 19 carries for 70 yards. Royce Freeman, 3 of 20. And then Pittsburgh rushing, James Conner had 16 carries for 106 yards and a score. So it's 2 consecutive weeks now the Steelers have had at least one running back with 100 rushing yards. The Cowboys force a turnover, somehow get the ball back, and the Falcons are going to blow this on the road. And the Cowboys kick an onside kick, and it looks like they got it. Did they touch it before 10 yards, though? And they let it roll, roll, and roll, and wow. Dallas recovers the onside kick, and they have no timeouts. Down 2, all they need is a field goal to win. So we'll see what Dak and company can do now. But yeah, Denver rushing, I thought they ran the ball better than Pittsburgh, but even though the stats don't say so, I thought they did, because Conner had that 60-yard run at the end of the game. But 2 weeks in a row they have a 100-yard rusher, which is a good thing. They can block up front, and the question was coming into today, can they block with a few injuries on the right side with the guard and tackle being on IR and out for the year until David DeCastro, of course, returns, which hopefully that'll be sooner rather than later. Denver, with all the injuries, Philip Lindsay did not play. He is going to be out for 2 or 4 weeks. We knew that coming in. So Gordon got the bulk of the carries, 19 of 70 once again. And then Locke goes down, but Driscoll comes in, almost 300 yards, 256, and 2 touchdowns. But then Denver receiving. Cortland Sutton had a decent game, along with Jerry Jeudy, but then both went down before KJ Hamler and Deshaun Hamilton both stepped up. Hamilton only had 1 catch for 5 yards, but was good in the blocking game with Gordon running the football then at that point. Sutton finished 3 catches for 66 yards. Jerry Jeudy 4-62. Noah Fant, though, in the meantime, too, at tight end, was the go-to target for Driscoll in the second half. He had 4 catches, 57 yards, a touchdown, and a 2-point conversion. KJ Hamler, 3 of 48. Tim Patrick, quiet afternoon, 2 catches for 24 yards. And then Melvin Gordon also had that 1 touchdown reception out of the backfield on that wheel route down the far sideline in the second half. So 2 catches for him for 14 yards and a score as well. Now the Pittsburgh Steelers on the other side of things, Ben Roethlisberger finished 29 of 41 for 311 yards passing, 2 touchdowns, and 1 interception. So they both threw for 2 touchdowns and a pick. Ben just had about 50 or more yards. Benny Snell did not do a damn thing. He had 3 carries for 5 yards compared to his 100-yard game last week. So maybe it'll be a on and off every other week for both of these running backs. Snell next week, look for him to get 100 yards. Conner not really doing a whole lot then, compared to or with just how everything's played out. Last week that's how it went, and then today this is how it went. With Snell being the go-to last week, Conner wasn't. Today it was Conner and Snell wasn't. if you get my gist. Connor had 16 carries, 106 yards, and a score. And then Pittsburgh receiving. All these receivers, wide receivers, tight ends. Pittsburgh did go to the tight end a little bit more today than last week, which was a good thing. They all had good games. Deontay Johnson, even after a few early miscues, and the same thing last week. He's played the same game 2 weeks in a row now. Starts off slow, starts off bad, finds a way to get back into it, and reinvent himself, make up for, what he just did wrong. As he had 8 catches for 92 yards and a touchdown. Also had an 81-yard punt return for a score that got called back for an illegal block on the back, but one play later, Ben Roethlisberger then found Chase Claypool for an 84-yard touchdown down the far sideline. Claypool ended with 3 catches for 84 yards, so he really didn't do much else, but he did have that touchdown. Juju had 7 catches for 48 yards. Eric Ebron, 3 of 43. And James Washington also had 3 catches for 22 yards. As well as the Dallas Cowboys are looking to kick a game-winning field goal here, it looks like. Having difficulty with watching this game, as it just disconnected on that. And the Cowboys actually win on a game-winning field goal, 40-39. Wow. What a game that was. Greg Zuerlein, now a Cowboy. He'll be loved for the next week. And the Cowboys win it. But Pittsburgh with a 26-21 win. Washington 3 of 22, Connor 2 of 15 receiving. And then I thought both defenses played well. Pittsburgh more so than not in the first half, but then Denver more so not in the second half. So it was even, and then it was a 5-point win. So we'll see how it shakes out. The Cowboys win 40-39 on a game-winning field goal. And Baltimore, Houston tied at 0. Chargers now lead the Chiefs by 7. Cardinals still 7-0 over Washington. And then the Bills, looks like they're going to pick up the win over the Dolphins on the road by 11, 31-20. They have a minute to play. And then, as mentioned, Sunday football still Patriots and Seahawks, and then Monday night will be the Vegas Raiders opening up their new stadium in Sin City, taking on the New Orleans Saints. So it should be interesting to see how things play out the rest of the day. I mean, it's actually been a good day for football, exciting games, and just all that wrapped up. I mean, yeah, the injuries were the big thing, I think, today, with the players getting hurt. But nonetheless, Pittsburgh didn't cover by any means, if you had that. But a win's still a win. Like I said, they need to do a better job late and try to find a way to close it out. Even though they were up, they were still lucky to be in the situation that they were after all the miscues, because there was a lot of penalties against them today. Actually going to look that up here real quick, see what the penalty yardage was. But, like I said, it's not like the penalties that were being called against them were bad calls. In my opinion, everybody has their own opinion, and I'm a Steeler fan, okay? I thought they were good calls from the Zebras. I did. And normally, like I said earlier, I wouldn't say that. Just because every once in a while, yeah, there's going to be a call that, didn't go the correct way, the way that it should have. Regardless of who you root for. If it's a penalty, throw it. If it's not, don't. But all of them today, I honestly did think they weren't that bad. See if I can find you out. penalty yardage. As that should be in here as well. Team stats. Penalties. Denver had 4 for 30. And then the Steelers only had, only, I say. They had 10 penalties for only 89 yards, which was a little surprising. I think the yardage would have been a little bit more. There were some spot fouls, so they didn't go for as much yardage-wise. But it's not going to get any easier the next 2 weeks. We'll see how Houston does against Baltimore today. This game's going to be a good game to keep an eye on because Pittsburgh's playing Houston in the Wattage next Sunday with the Watt brothers. And then, of course, Pittsburgh's going to play Baltimore 2 more times still this year. Potentially 3 if they make the playoffs. So, they have to find a more clear-cut, better way to, close it out. Like I said, even though they're up, they had a lot of mistakes with turnovers, and then the penalties cost them too. But because they had the lead and they were at home, they were better off. Now, if they were on the road in Denver today, whether there's fans there or not, the outcome might not have been the same. It might have been a 5-point win for the Broncos or even worse. They have to be more consistent, along with officiating overall, across the league. If they're more consistent, as mentioned, people won't complain. And I think that's all anybody wants. Whether it's a catch or not, or it's a penalty or not, or whatever, just be more consistent. And Pittsburgh has to do the same in running the football. I get, 2 straight weeks with, 2 different running backs, at 100 yards apiece, but I tell you what, don't give me all season long, one's doing this game, and then not doing a damn thing the next week, and then the roles are reversed. Whoever wasn't doing a damn thing the week before is now rushing. But that's what we got in the first 2 weeks of the season. Well, like I said, the next 2 games aren't getting any easier because they got Houston, and then they go to Tennessee. And Tennessee is also 2-0. And they found a way to hang on and win against the Jags earlier this afternoon as well, too. So, just honestly play the way they played the past 2 games. If you've watched Pittsburgh Steelers football last Monday night or today, both games were very similar. They both scored, both times they scored 26 points, so they're averaging 26 for the year. So, look at that number, moving forward for the time being at least, for the Steeler offense, for the Steelers as a whole. Because special teams was key, but then there's a penalty. That didn't happen then. And then no defensive touchdowns by any means as of yet. But they have had a few interceptions and fumble recoveries. So if their defense continues to play like they've had, and, the offense can, whether they start out slow or not, find rhythm, towards the middle of the game, get back into it if they're down, they should be fine. But it's still early because it's a long season. So, and we all know that, and we all overreact early on like usual, but here we are once again. So, Steelers defeat the Broncos once again by a final score of 26-21. I'll end it on that, and we'll see how these games here at 4 o'clock finish up. 1st and 10, Baltimore from the 32. Jackson out of the pistol. I'm going to hand off to Gussie Gus from the bench warmers. Edwards for a 3-yard pickup. And almost nearing the end of the first quarter in H-Town with the Ravens and Texans, but yeah, a good game. They almost blew it, but like I said, a win's a win. So that's really all you can ask. And on to the next now. On to the next, and that'll be the Houston Texans coming to the Steel City next Sunday at 1 p.m. I'll have live reactions play-by-play, so be sure to tune back in. Also, WWE Clash of Champions next Sunday night as well. Thanks for watching. Be sure to tune back in tomorrow night as well. Monday Night Raw, side-by-side with Monday Night Football, as the Vegas Raiders open up in Sin City, taking on the New Orleans Saints. Steelers defeat the Broncos 26-21. Thanks once again for watching. Like, follow, and subscribe. Links in the description below. Be sure to tune back in tomorrow night for more live reactions and next week as well. Steelers with a 5-point home win in their home opener against the Denver Broncos. Their first win over Denver since December of 2015 as well. It also happened in Pittsburgh at Heinz Field. Steelers with a 5-point 26-21 win once again over the Denver Broncos. Like, follow, and subscribe on social media. Hope to see everybody now tomorrow night for WWE Monday Night Raw and NFL Monday Night Football, Saints Raiders. 26-21, Steelers with the win over the Broncos.